It's time for Bethune-Cookman men's basketball. Field of power of Bethune-Cookman women's basketball. The Lady Wildcats, led by head coach Janelle Creighton, are fired up and ready to dominate the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Wildcats quickly in transition. Clark double team into the basket, goes with the spin.
Get ready to feel the excitement. It's time to hit the hardwood for today's game. Buckle up, Wildcat fans. It's about to get crazy. Now it's time to turn it over to the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Truello, on the CatEye Radio Network.
What started in November now leads to this. The culmination point of the college basketball season is here. Live from the Gateway Center Arena just south of Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Starry Men's and Women's SWAC Basketball Tournament on the CatEye Network Radio at 1380 WELE. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company as the Bethune-Cookman Lady Wildcats gear up for their second ever SWAC tournament appearance as they face the Panthers of Prairie View A&M in round one. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. I've got Sabrina Petit-Holm here next to me. Sabrina, we made the drive up last night. We got to the venue this morning. It's a beautiful looking venue. The Wildcats and the Panthers are out warming up, about 3 minutes till tip. You got to be excited.
I'm so excited. You know, last year we were here in Alabama, actually, and we were able to see so many different teams and coming out from a conference to see how well they played in the playoffs, because that's the best thing about a playoff. You start fresh. It's 0-0. What did you learn from the conference that you're bringing to the playoffs?
Let's jump into our Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game. Sabrina, what do you got?
All right, keys to the game, and the first one goes out to VCU women's basketball team, and that is to start fast. VCU hasn't had the strongest first quarter track record, but they definitely can change that in the playoffs if they start fast, play poised. The second one goes out to Prairie View A&M, and that would be to use those post players. That'll be the greatest advantage the entire time throughout the entire game for them to be able to execute and be able to use those post players.
Those were your Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game.
At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $389 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through February 3rd, 2025. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
The Bethune-Cookman Wildcats entered today at 10-20 overall. They finished 7-11 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference and are the 7th seed coming into the afternoon. They will be playing the Prairie View A&M Panthers. They are 9-18 overall, 6-12 in conference, finished in a three-way tie for 8th place, but it dropped all the way to 10th due to tiebreakers. These teams did play once in the regular season. Prairie View won by 8 in Texas on a weekend where the Wildcats put a scare into both Texas teams, but were unable to beat either of them. So now is a chance for redemption for the Wildcats to try and knock them out on the big stage.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting to see these two match up because they've already played against each other again. So let's see if they were able to use those mistakes, those adjustments, and bring them to the conference or the playoffs and see how they're able to go from there.
Let's take you through the starting lineups. First for Prairie View A&M, a freshman guard from Atlanta, Georgia. Playing in her hometown, it's C.J. Wilson, the former Stockbridge High School alum. It's Niam Thornton as a senior guard, 5'7", from Columbus, Ohio, the team's leader in games started and minutes per game, also assists as well. Michaela Hutchinson is a senior guard, 5'9", from Mansfield, Texas. She's in her third school in 4 years after transferring from Stephen F. Austin and Trinity Valley Community College. Asia Thompson is the fourth starter, a senior guard from DeSoto, Texas. She leads the team in steals and rebounding at just 5'10" out of DeSoto High School. She started her college career at Old Dominion and then at Houston. And finally, it's Amori Williams, the height on this team. 6'4", the center from Little Rock, Arkansas. Started her college career at Vanderbilt, but was at Prairie View A&M last year. And for Bethune-Cookman, it's the same starting lineup that we ran out in the overtime win against Florida A&M last Saturday. Zamani Dorsey starts at guard, the 5'7" junior from Baltimore, Maryland, as in her entire career at BCU. She had a career-high 19 points already this season against Grambling State. Janessa Kelly, the three-point sniper freshman out of Pompano Beach, Florida, a McDonald's All-American nominee. Then there is Ajane Nicholson, as we will get to the rest of the starting lineup after the national anthem.
For the playing of the national anthem. Thank you.
For the Wildcats, we continue with the starting lineup. Ajane Nicholson is the woman to watch, the recently announced second-team All-SWAC. It leads the SWAC in total rebounds, the only player in the conference averaging a double-double with 12.7 and 11 points and 11 rebounds. She is just a couple of rebounds away from potentially getting to second place for rebounds in a single season in VCU history. She needs 8 tonight to achieve that goal. Chanel McDonald, the senior forward, 6'2", from Lake Wales, Florida, potentially playing in her final collegiate game starts. And Kayla Clark, the senior, again, potentially playing in her final college game, the senior from Miami, Florida, the career Wildcat. And Sabrina, the one thing that shocked me is that after an 18-point outburst on Saturday night, Kayla White starts this game on the bench.
Yeah. So it's actually kind of, I want to see what's going through Coach's head when she places her starters and how she plays them. But one thing I know about Coach Creighton is that she's very strategic on how she does things. You know, she might save Kayla White, because Kayla White is a spark. She likes to do things quickly. You know, and it goes back to our keys to the game. Maybe Kayla White should have started because she is that fast player that we need to be able to put those points at.
We'll see how quickly she comes off the bench for head coach Janelle Creighton Del Rosario. On the other side, Prairie View A&M has not started their top scorer and SWAC Freshman of the Year, Crystal Schultz, averaging 9.3 points per game. The freshman out of Houston, Texas, scored 16 points a game in her final high school season. The starters are being introduced on the floor. The Prairie View A&M Panthers are wearing all purple today with white numbers with a gold trim, a gold stripe along the bottom of the pants, Panthers in gold above the numbers. And the Wildcats are in all gold today, an alternating maroon and gold diagonal stripe down the sides, maroon numbers with a white trim, Wildcats in block letters and an arch above the numbers also with a white trim.
These look new.
It's going to be a good-looking matchup today. We got the purple against the gold as Bethune-Cookman is about to get their starters introduced. Nice little hype video going on.
Oh, wow.
But the court is a SWAC court. All the logos of all the SWAC schools are on the baseline. The court is a light pale grained wood, darker grain inside the three-point arc. The area around the court is red with the big SWAC logo in the middle. We welcome those of you now listening to us on 1380 WELE in Daytona Beach. Welcome to the first round of the Starry Men's and Women's SWAC Basketball Tournament. The Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman getting ready to face the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. The Wildcats, the 10 seed. Oh, sorry, the Wildcats, the 7 seed. The Panthers, the 10 seed. the winner of this game moves on to tomorrow. They'll play the number 2 seed, Texas Southern, also at 11 a.m. So if the Wildcats win this afternoon, we'll be right back on your airwaves tomorrow for the quarterfinals.
You know, one thing about VCU, it's like when you feel that they're coming out on the bottom, they're always going to come out on top, and that's the best thing about the Wildcats. We'll see if they'll be able to bring that same energy today.
This is a really cool setup. We got a fog machine. We got sparklers going off as the Wildcats are introduced in front of us. This is really cool. The SWAC has kind of rolled out the red tape for us presentation-wise here. Once again, welcome to those of you listening on 1380 WELE. We'll have you throughout the week as the men play on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The women, of course, today and potentially tomorrow. We are just about start to go. I got goosebumps, Sabrina. The whole basketball season leads to this.
And I think this is something that we've been waiting on for a long time, you know, coming into the SWAC last year. I was behind the scenes. I was working cameras trying to see what was going on, and now I'm able to talk about these amazing teams that are being played today.
We are also live on the booth cam, if I can get that to work. Hello, booth cam, for the first time in 2025. Hello. Sabrina and I live here at Courtside on YouTube.com/CatEye Network. Well, I'll tell you candidly, folks, we are all the way on the left-hand baseline in front of the Wildcats bench that is opposite to us. So if the ball goes all the way in the right-hand part of the court, it might be a little bit difficult to see. But we will get you all the action as best we can.
So excuse us if we have to stand a little bit too. We might have to see what call is being played. Oh, this is going to be really exciting.
Here we go. Prairie View in the purple. Bethune-Cookman in the gold. It'll be Chanel McDonald to tip it up against Amaury Williams at center court. And we are underway. The ball is tapped to the Wildcats. Kayla Clark controls out high. The Wildcats attacking the basket. 2 listeners right. Damani Dorsey at the top of the key as we are just underway here at the SWAC tournament. To the high right wing side. McDonald ducks it down low to Clark. Gets it back to McDonald on the left wing. Back to Dorsey. 10 to shoot. Dorsey sizes up Thornton, her defender, goes right at her to the right-hand side, stops, 5 to shoot. Kelly on the right-hand corner, goes down low, McDonald, 2 to shoot, under the basket, double team, forces it up, off the whim, no good. Rebound Nicholson, she can't get her put back to go, and it's turned over to Michaela Hutchinson on the 3rd attempt. Here comes Prairie View, empty set for the Wildcats on their first possession.
Something we definitely see is the Wildcats being able to run plays, different types of defenses.
Yep, and a turnover by Prairie View as they try to dunk it down to the 6'4" Amaury Williams. Kind of hard to miss her, but Niam Thornton threw it right over her head.
Making her presence known. It seems as if when we talk about press being played, you know, BCU is not really known for breaking them, but, you know, or running them, but we are sure really great to break them. And they
full court press. Wildcats break it into the left-hand corner. Chanel McDonald pulls up from mid-range and connects, and the Wildcats are on the board.
Those mid-rangers, Chanel McDonald loves those. One thing about it, she's either going to come to the left or right side and be able to shoot them.
2-0 Cats, 8:48 to go, first quarter. We talked about starting fast.
Yeah.
Maybe some momentum on the side of the maroon and gold here early.
A 2-3 to a 3-2
high ball
defense.
screen. Here's Asia tops him with the ball. Right-hand corner 3, off the mark, no good. Rebound by Damani Dorsey, and the Wildcats will push in transition. Again, the Panthers will show some press defense at the half-court line, but Dorsey walks into the front court. 8:27 to go in the first quarter. Still 2-0. Bethune-Cookman. Dorsey finds McDonald on a flare screen on the right-hand wing. Goes down low. Kayla Clark at the free throw line. She pulls up off the window. No good. Gets her own rebound. Attacks on the baseline. Kicks it out. Dorsey in the right-hand corner. She'll drive baseline. McDonald, free throw line jumper. Just too strong. And the rebound comes down to C.J. Wilson. The Wildcats not really attacking the glass. They're settling for those outside shots. As right down the other end, Wilson goes all the way in, misses the layup, rebound Nicholson, who is sporting some fashionable, very bright red hair today.
She looks amazing.
Wildcats quickly. Here's a 3 from the left-hand corner, just short. Nicholson fighting for the rebound on the baseline, threw it away to Naeem Thornton. The shot came through originally from Janessa Kelly. Thornton all the way in, floater from the baseline, good from 5 feet away, and it's 2-2. Neither team really at the races offensively early.
You say something about us attacking those post players, but when you have somebody as tall with stature as Amari Williams down below, it's kind of hard to penetrate.
Here comes a drive from the right-hand corner. Layup, good. Nice ball movement. Janessa Kelly, the beneficiary of an easy layup, 4-2 Bethune-Cookman.
I think the best thing right now for the Wildcats is to be able to pull that post players from preview up so they'll be able to attack and have no bodies down there.
You hear the defense chant from the marching Wildcats, who are just off to our left behind the goal that the Panthers attack. There's a drive from C.J. Wilson. Layup too strong. Rebound Kayla Clark.
Very excited to see so many rebounds being put up, even those second chance shots.
Remember, Asian Nicholson, just 8 rebounds away from second place for rebounds in a single season in BCU history. We'll see if she gets that this afternoon. At the free throw line, down low, Nicholson, nice pass from McDonald. A foul is called as Nicholson got bumped on a layup attempt. No good, but you go to the line.
You talk about going back to our keys to the game is that starting fast, and we said that Kayla White wasn't being checked in. Now she is checked in, so hopefully this will be able to change the speed of the game, but we want to be able to keep the poiseness of how they're playing, the level-headedness.
Maya Johnson comes in for the Wildcats. You can tell that Coach Creighton Del Rosario is a little bit worried about the size of Prairie View A&M, putting the 6'2" Johnson in, who's a little bit of a bigger body than Kayla Clark is, even though she gives up a little bit height-wise. Asian Nicholson at the free throw line. 4-2 Wildcats before the shot. 6:39 to go first quarter. The throw is up and no good off the front of the rim. And we bring it up every game, but we got to continue to bring it up. The Wildcats just 63% as a team from the free throw line, last in the SWAC, and it's hurt them all year, especially in close games like the one they had against Prairie View.
Yeah, hopefully history doesn't repeat itself this season.
Second one good, 1-2 from the line for Nicholson. It is 5-2. Bethune-Cookman with 6:35 to go in the first quarter. Down low, here's Williams on the low post, turned over, here's Nicholson with the steal. Across half court, all the way in, up and under, she got fouled by Niam Thornton, and we'll go back to the free throw line.
She knows how to draw those fouls, and it's amazing to see the different types of ways she goes up every time. When we talk about those free throws, are extremely important for those second chance points.
A little bit selfish there from Nicholson, because she had Kelly right there if she wanted to draw the defender to lay it off for the easy layup, chose to take it herself. We'll get to the free throw line.
At the line for the Lady Wildcats,
Nicholson on the season, a 56% free throw shooter, but has gotten to the line the most of anybody on the team. Almost over 150 free throw attempts on the season. The first one is no good off the left iron. If this is how we're going to start shooting free throws today.
It's not going to be a good look for us.
Yeah, and well, there's a long way back to the back wall behind the right-hand bucket. There's no seats back there as she misses both. Kayla Clark with the rebound, though. Wildcats will get an offensive opportunity. Driving in Nicholson, and she traveled.
Yeah, but we talk about how the stuff is being played, so maybe she could have passed it back out. So
yeah, Nicholson definitely feeling like she wants to do it all herself right now, as it's 5-2 Bethune-Cookman with 6:19 to go in the first half. Wildcats have played good defense so far, but have not really taken advantage on the offensive end. Prairie View with the ball. Niam Thornton controls out high. Kayla White guarding her fresh into the game. Almost turned over on the right wing side. Here is Wilson. Wilson back to the top for Thornton. Wilson guarded by White. Here comes the high ball screen. The Wildcats pressure off the screen into the right-hand corner. 3 on the way. No good, front of the rim for Hutchinson. Ball on the ground. Grabbed by Prairie View's Aisha Thompson. Thompson back out to Thornton. Left-hand drive into the lane. Fouled by Kayla Clark. Oh, no, it's going to be on Maya Johnson.
Momentum. That's what we need to be able to keep, is that momentum to be able to execute correctly and be efficient on the courts.
So Prairie View goes to the line. Prairie View is number 3 in the SWAC in all 3 offensive categories: field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Shooting the free throw at 67.8%. Niam Thornton is a 73% free throw shooter, one of the best on the team. The senior out of Columbus, Ohio, will toe the slab. Right in front of us, as the Wildcat band and cheerleaders get loud, she makes the first one, and it is 5-3. Wildcats scoreless over the last 155, even though they held Prairie View to just 1 field goal so far. The second one is good. Thornton 2 for 2, and it's 5-4, just a 1-point Bethune-Cookman lead. Panthers will go with a little bit of a full court press, and now they back off after the ball comes in. White Nicholson, right-hand corner. She drives all the way in. Floater in the lane, off the window, no good. The rebound tipped back out to her, but she's going to be called for the foul after a push in the back on the rebound. That, to me, was a little soft.
Yeah. Honestly, I really hope they're not trying to put Shanae to too much work. I want to be able to make sure that all of the work being down court is being spread out throughout the entire players on the court, not just her.
5-4, Bethune-Cookman. Prairie View with the ball on the right-hand corner. Here's Wilson, back to the top. Thornton hands to Crystal Schultz, the top scorer on this team, the freshman from Houston, Texas. She resets to Thornton, guarded by White. Here comes the screen. Thornton goes left, mid-range jump shot, good. And it's the first lead for Prairie View A&M.
This is that fire that we're talking about when we set to start fast. We don't want to be able to get PV hot, so they stay hot, because it's the same thing that happened last game. When they get in that mode, they get in that mode. Wildcats need to be able to bring that back.
6'5" Wildcats catch just one of their last 5 from the floor after starting 3 of 4. Long 2 from mid-range, doesn't go for Nicholson. Off the window, rebound Prairie View. Racing into the front court is Schultz. She'll Tish to the corner, 3 on the way, short from Wilson. Rebound to Damani Dorsey. Dorsey dribbling through traffic in the backcourt. She picks up a dribble, finds Nicholson. On the right-hand wing, here's Clark. Fakes the 3, goes up for it. Is offensive foul as she crashed into Naeem Thornton. And the Wildcats all over the place at the moment. The media timeout is coming up, and they need it. That'll be the media timeout of the first quarter. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back. It's Bethune-Cookman 5, Prairie View A&M 6. This is Bethune-Cookman University Women's Basketball on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WBL. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Cirillo, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Wojnowski and Brian Harvey. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WBL Daytona Beach to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. We're back live at the SWAC tournament in Atlanta. It is Prairie View A&M 6, Bethune-Cookman 5. The Wildcats scored the first 5 points of the contest, Sabrina, but have not scored in almost 3 minutes and have committed 2 offensive fouls during that time.
You know, we talked about earlier in the keys to the game, we don't really have the best track record in the first quarter, but it's the playoffs. We don't want to lose momentum here. Yes, we are only down by 1 point, but who's to say anything can happen? PV are able to get that spark back to get those numbers up, and we don't want that to happen.
Prairie View 0 for 3 from downtown. The Wildcats have only taken 1 and missed it. Bethune-Cookman 2 for 9 from the floor. Prairie View 2 for 7. The Wildcats just 1 for 4 from the free throw line, and that's the difference of the game right now. And how many times have we said that this year?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I want to go ahead and point out is that play where they moved Amari Williams up. They were able to pull her from the post players and be able to continue to have that post free, so they're able to make
Wildcats
those
with full court press. The ball is batted around and eventually comes to C.J. Wilson, and the Wildcats back off. Out of the media timeout. Prairie View controls up by 1, 6-5, 4:20 to go first quarter. A low-scoring first quarter at that. High right wing side, here's Asia Thompson. Thompson hands off Wilson, who curls around top of the key. Wilson double team. Now to the right-hand wing. Left-hand drive into the paint from Schultz. Stepped on the baseline. Turnover Prairie View A&M. So the Wildcats and the Panthers have both turned the ball over 3 times here in the first quarter.
The key, yes, absolutely, right now is to be able to adjust, adapt, and adjust again. How are we going to be able to move from these different plays? You see that they're no longer doing presses anymore. What is going to be the next step? What plays are going to be ran?
Kamara Langston into the game. She hands off Kayla White, trying to curl around the screen. Kick to the right-hand wing for Langston. Langston, left-hand corner, all the way in. 3 on the way is good. Kamara Langston puts the Wildcats back on top 7-6. The Langston, that was a long 2. Her foot was on the line. Also into the game for the Wildcats is Shomari Phillips, who hit those 4 threes to help the Wildcats come back against FAMU on Saturday. Left-hand corner, 3 on the way for the Panthers. No good, too strong by Nia Jordan, the former Bethune-Cookman Wildcat, playing against her old team. All the way in, coast to coast goes Kayla White. She hands off. Langston, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Prairie View. This is a very fast-paced game. Not a lot of shot clock being used as C.J. Wilson drives in on the other side. Lost the ball. Kayla White grabs it for the Wildcats. Another steal. Quickly up the floor. Shomari Phillips in the left-hand corner. Double team. Picks up her dribble and loses the ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Prairie View. So the Wildcats get the turnover and then do nothing with it.
Now that's something that we also wanted to talk about. We don't really technically have a sense of balance. Either we play fast or we play poised. It's never the same. And I think if we were able to find that sweet spot in the middle to be able to play both balance and poise, we'll be in a much better spot.
The other big for Prairie View's just checked in. Adriana Waddle, the senior forward, 6'2", out of Fort Worth. Waddle, the former Weatherford College player at the junior college level, and then last year at Prairie View, averaged 6.8 points and 4.4 rebounds. Originally signed at Taunton State out of high school, but never played there, Waddle. Prairie View breaks the full court press off the inbounds pass and breaks into the front court. Naeem Thornton will slow it down. She'll go right. Handoff on a ball screen to Michaela Hutchinson, who hands off further to Robinson. Back to Michaela Hutchinson. Down low it goes. Waddle, left-hand layup, good on a mismatch against Kamara Langston.
Going back to their keys of the game is to use their post panels. That is the advantage that PV is going to have, is to be able to use their beast down there.
8-7 Prairie View, 2.5 to go first quarter, and a jump ball is called as Kayla White drove in, picked up her dribble, had nowhere to go with the ball. I thought she was going to get called for an up and down,
yeah, same.
But either way, the ball goes to Prairie View on the possession arrow. And the Wildcats have just had nothing offensively in this quarter. I mean, they've got 7 points. But oh boy, has it been ugly. 3 of 11 from the floor. High ball action for Asia Thompson for Prairie View. She'll go around the screen. She gets double teamed, dunks it down low. Nicholson trying to bat the ball away from Waddle, but Waddle goes up and scores. It's the exact same play.
Yes, so from the last time, it's the same time. What they're doing is keeping that post down low on the right side open so that Waddle or Amari Williams is going to be down there to be able to make those layups.
Biggest lead of the game for Prairie View. It's 10-7. With 1:52 to go first quarter. Langston straight on 3 off a dribble handoff. Too strong, rebound to Adriana Waddle. She has completely changed the game since coming in. Prairie View goes quickly. Left-hand corner, Asia Thompson on the baseline, picks up a dribble, turns the ball over to Nicholson. The Wildcats have turned Prairie View over 5 times in this first quarter. Dorsey, right-hand side. Kelly, catch and shoot 3. Too strong. Battling for the rebound is Shomari Phillips, but she loses out to Michaela Hutchinson. Here come the Panthers, already up by 3 with 1:22 to go in the first quarter.
There's that fire that we talked about earlier. Now they're being smart with it, slowing the game down so they can run the plays. And they're going to run the same play again. They're going to open up that right side post so that she'll be able to drop down and get those layups.
Waddle posting up against the much shorter Kamara Langston. Let's see if they go to her. Right now it's with Thornton in the right-hand corner. She's looking for Waddle. She picks up a dribble. She goes underneath. It's a baseline jumper, free throw line jumper for Asia Thompson. And it's 12-7. And what did we say?
Yes.
First quarters have been terrible for this team all year, and it's happening again. Here we go, quickly into the front court, traveling violation against Tamani Dorsey. Another Wildcat turnover there fifth of the first quarter. They have not scored in over 3 minutes, and it's been a 6-0 Prairie View run.
And they're running the same plays on us. You know, when I talk about adapt, and I keep saying this over and over again, we see that they're running the same plays. What plays are we going to be able to run to counteract that? You see they're going for the plays.
Jordan Brooks into the game. She'll face guard Nyan Thornton on the defensive end. Dribble handoff off the left-hand side to Crystal Schultz. Schultz hands back to Thompson. Top of the key, who hit the last bucket at the free throw line. Brooks goes for the steal. That leaves Schultz open for three. She misses it short. Nicholson got bumped on the rebound, and she is fouled.
And it's the same play we ran again. Hopefully Angela is okay.
Yeah, it looks like she took
a hard foul.
An elbow up near the face, but she looks to be okay. She gets up, gets right back in the game. That was Nia Jordan picking up the foul. Jordan played the last 2 years at Bethune-Cookman. Averaged 7 points and 4.5 rebounds in 21 minutes a game over 2 seasons for the Wildcats. Now playing her graduate year at Prairie View A&M. Shot clock off, 16 seconds to go first quarter. Wildcats down 12-7. Very low scoring first quarter. The Wildcats have had almost nothing offensively. Jordan Brooks blitzed off a screen up top. Almost loses the ball. 5 to shoot. Left-hand corner, Shamari Phillips. She takes the three. It's well short, missed everything. And that's the way the first quarter ends. Oh, boy.
Notes, and more notes, adjustment and being played.
And what's shocking to me, Sabrina, is the Wildcats have almost abandoned the post completely.
Yes.
It's all been outside shots, threes, long twos, contested jump shots, almost nothing in the post for the Wildcats. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it's the second quarter. Prairie View 12, Wildcats 7. This is the SWAC Women's Basketball Tournament first round right here on 1380 WBLE and the CatEye Radio Network. Back at the Gateway Center in Atlanta for the Starry Women's Basketball Tournament here in the SWAC first round. It's the end of the first quarter. Prairie View A&M 12, Bethune-Cookman 7. Michael Trevello, Sabrina Petit home courtside here in Atlanta, bringing you all the action. And a disappointing first quarter for the Wildcats. Your key to the game was start fast, and they certainly did not.
No, not at all. And I'm actually hoping to see if there's going to be any adjustments made. Something that I'm really hoping to see from BCU that Prairie View is using is, you know, attacking the post. And if that post, the first option is not there, to go ahead and kick it out for a layup or a mid-ranger. You know, they're using their post players. And yes, we don't have a height. We should be able to use ours as well. Draw those fouls in. Something else that I've also noticed is that Prairie View's bench is not as, you know, long as ours, but they're able to keep their players as fresh too. So hopefully we can find those chess pieces and be able to play the game the way it's supposed to be.
The Wildcats were scoreless over the last 3 minutes and 51 seconds of that first quarter and only hit one bucket after the media timeout as the Panthers closed that first quarter on a 10-2 run after the Wildcats led 5-0 early on.
We absolutely need an answer.
Wildcats will start with the ball. Jordan Brooks flashes across left to right, top of the key, back to the top. Shamari Phillips straight on three, too strong off the heel. Long rebound, battled around for one by Prairie View. Nyan Thornton takes it for the Panthers, who seem to be getting every loose ball right now. And again, another early shot clock contested three-pointer for the Wildcats that doesn't really go anywhere. Panthers control, high right wing side, Thompson. Back to the top, here's Amari Williams. He tries to duck it down low, it's turned over. Kayla Clark with an athletic steal on the baseline. Damani Dorsey picks up the ball for the Cats. No scoring yet here in this second quarter. It's a handoff to Brooks. Kayla Clark way outside the three-point arc, goes left. Backdoor cut on the baseline for Shamari Phillips. She kicks it out, right-hand corner, three on the way. Too strong again. Another three-pointer for the Wildcats. They're 0 of 5 from beyond the arc to start the game, and it's still 12-7 Prairie View.
We have to abandon the three-point shots, Mike. I honestly feel like right now we should be attacking the post. Attacking the paint, attacking the post.
Naeem Thornton controls for the Panthers right in front of the Wildcat bench. Resets to Thompson, top of the key. Thompson guarded by Shomari Phillips. She goes left. Wing three, catch and shoot. Too strong for Crystal Schultz, who has yet to score. And the Wildcats take possession. Damani Dorsey quickly into the front court. 8:37 to go second quarter. Wildcats down 12-7. No scoring by either team yet in this second period. Dorsey pounds the ball against the hardwood, waits for blocks to develop in front of her. Goes to McDonald, left-hand wing. She picks up her dribble. Throws it cross court. Shamari Phillips, top of the key. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound, McDonald offensively for the Wildcats. She goes baseline, puts it up, no good. Another opportunity for Clark, and finally she puts it in for a first Wildcat bucket in 5 minutes.
It's way too long. Hopefully that was able to break that spell to be able to keep up the momentum, but just like we said before, attacking that paint.
The Wildcats are doing well on the glass, out-rebounding Prairie View A&M now 5-1 on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
But haven't been able to convert those opportunities. Prairie View up 12-7 with the ball on the baseline. Williams, baseline jumper, good. She just shot that right over Kayla Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 6'4", so not a lot they can do about that. Jordan Brooks will run the offense for the Wildcats, down 14-9 now. 7.5 to go second quarter. Brooks sizing up Crystal Schultz, tries to go to her right, still on the outside, down low. Clark makes the catch on the baseline against Williams, kicks it out. Extra pass, McDonald, free throw line jumper, got it.
I like that play. I like that play a lot, Mike. And honestly, if they would be able to run it to get the scores back up, that would be able to be in BCU's favor.
Open look for McDonald. She bears it off the catch and shoot. Wildcats down 3, 14-11. Prairie View with the ball. Wildcats have turned the Panthers over 6 times in the ball game, but only have 4 points off those 6 turnovers because it feels like they've turned the ball over again. Have Prairie View. Dorsey with the steal. She goes coast to coast. Lays it off for Brooks. Layup, no good. Offensive rebound for McDonald, and the ball squirts way out of bounds. McDonald just threw it away.
We will be able to keep that momentum up. It can never be for too long, and that's something that we need to work on. Balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, no flash photography is allowed here.
McDonald got the offensive rebound, thought she was going to kick it out for somebody for 3, and then nobody was there. Just threw it out of bounds.
And that's what I mean about learning the plays and being an adapt. If he's not there, take it back up to the top, reset it, start it over, take your time with it.
Both teams have turned the ball over 7 times already in this first half. It's 14-11, Prairie View with the lead and the ball as Asia Thompson walks across the time stripe. Jordan Brooks guards her well back, her heels on the three-point line. Thompson changes the play, backs up all the way to the SWAC logo at midcourt. Now will move to her right with 13 on the shot clock. Brooks still guarding her outside. Lots of movement in purple and gold in front of her. She drives around Brooks, gets the lane, runner, front iron, back iron, good.
And she does that every time. You know, there's going to be times that they're going to be running plays. Maybe they don't want to use their post, but they're going to drive in for a floater or a mid-ranger.
Naeem Thornton up to 8 points now to lead all scorers, and it's 16-11 for Prairie View. Jordan Brooks picks up her dribble right wing. Hands to Kelly. Around it goes Shamari Phillips. On the left wing, she ducks it down Nicholson on the baseline. She drives in against 2. Whistle and an offensive foul again. The 3rd on the Wildcats in the game.
And that's something that you don't see often.
Second foul on Nicholson, and she's got only 1 point and 3 rebounds, and that 1 point came from the free throw line. As McDonald's going to replace Nicholson. This is, I mean,
the SWAC definitely does change a different perspective on everything.
Almost as bad of a start as you could have imagined for the Wildcats, and yet they're only down by 5.
Right.
Could change though. Here's Thompson turns it over. Shomari Phillips in transition all alone, layup, good.
That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
I would have loved to see some press being played by BCU, but you know, it would probably been easily
Wilson
broken.
attacking all the way in, got the foul called as their layup was no good. She'll go to the free throw line. Prairie View went to the line once in the first half. Thornton hit 2 of 2.
Bethune-Cookman foul, number 5.
Janessa Kelly's actually going to get called for the block.
Wow.
Team foul.
Nobody with more than 4 points for the Wildcats. McDonald has 4. Clark, Kelly, Langston, and Phillips all have 2. Nicholson's got what?
I'm hoping after this second quarter that when they go in for halftime, they're able to use what they have seen so far on the court against Prairie View, especially with their post man, on how they're going to be able to play against that.
First free throw good by C.J. Wilson. The freshman shoots the penalty shot at 63%. Her season high is 25 points, all the way back against Jarvis Christian in game 2 of the season back in November. Second one front iron it in. 2 for 2 from the stripe, and it's 18-13 Prairie View. Jordan Brooks walks across the time stripe. 5:26 to go second quarter. Brooks tries to cross over Wilson. She hands the ball to Shamari Phillips on the left wing. Phillips gets a screen, lost the ball. But a foul is going to be called on a push, and the Wildcats get bailed out.
But those can't really happen.
Aisha Thompson gets called for the foul. No, not in the act of shooting, so the Wildcats will just have a fresh 20 on the shot clock as Kayla White comes back in, as well as Damani Dorsey. I want to see Kayla White start to take over this game like she did on Saturday.
And I think that was what was needed to change the trajectory of her pulling up, taking mid shots, her putting up floaters. It was the same time.
Kayla Clark controls off the inbounds pass, hands the ball off. Jordan Brooks around the corner at the free throw line, up and under, off the window, no good. Rebound to the 6'4" Amari Williams. Whistle and a stoppage of play, and Williams was out of bounds when she made the rebound. So, wow. I'll tell you what, Sabrina, the Panthers are doing everything in their power to try and keep the Wildcats in it. The Wildcats just can't hit shots. 6 of 22 from the floor, and the Prairie View has 9 turnovers. We'll take a immediate timeout. When we come back, it'll be Wildcats on the ball, down 18-13. With 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. This is the SWAC Women's Basketball Tournament first round on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WELA. Spring football is nearly here at Bethune-Cookman. Miss your chance to get a first look at the 2025 edition of Bethune-Cookman football at our annual spring game. Admission is free at Daytona Stadium Saturday, April 12th. The game set to start at 1 p.m. Michael Torillo, Sabrina Petrit home here in Atlanta at the SWAC tournament. Well, it might be a quick trip for the VCU women as they trail 18-13 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. And I mentioned during the break and right before we went to break, the Wildcats are not ready or not up for this right now. But thankfully, Prairie View's not that much better on offense at the moment as they are shooting just 7 of 15 from the floor. The Wildcats 6 of 23. They've turned Prairie View over 9 times, but only 6 points off those turnovers.
So hopefully I want to see it. It's almost 5 minutes left into the second quarter. Less turnovers. Let's see if we can start the second half after these 5 minutes freshly with less turnovers and more attacking the paint.
I want to see somebody try and take over the game offensively for the Wildcats. It's been shared. You know, nobody has more than 4. Nobody has more than 4 points for Bethune-Cookman right now, and that's Chanel McDonald. 4 players have 2. Nicholson's just got 1, and she's on the bench with 2 fouls right now. Wildcats will have a baseline in as we get back to play under the basket. They attack the listeners right. It's thrown all the way over the top, and thankfully Jordan Brooks is there to collect it. She'll hand back to Kayla White. Heels on the midcourt stripe. White with a burst of speed tries to go around a double screen to left, from left to right. Stops and hands to Kayla White, top of the key. 16 on the shot clock. Dorsey controls in front of the Prairie View bench. Gets a screen from Clark. Goes into the free throw line. Pulls up. Misses to the right. Missed everything. Didn't even hit the rim. And there's a Panther down as a jump ball was called on the rebound. And it'll be Prairie View ball.
This inbound play has to be the one to either go up for a layup or shoot out for a mid-range.
No, it's Prairie View ball.
Oh, Prairie View ball.
To Prairie View A&M.
So Prairie View with another stop on a Wildcat shot that, I mean, the ball never touched the paint on that possession. Just outside, and then they got as far as the free throw line, pulled up for a jumper. Prairie View with the ball up 5 with 4.5 to go in the first half. Up top is Asia Thompson. She's left all alone against Clark. She drives in on Clark, lost the ball, and it'll go back to the Wildcats. A 10th turnover for Prairie View in the first half. And again, the Wildcats are just down 5 because they can't hit a shot. Shamari Phillips comes in for Jordan Brooks. And again, there's not enough driving to the lane. They're not looking for post players. It's all outside. And that's an issue I have with the men's team a lot, not as much with the women's team.
And we have the speed. That's one thing that we do have is, are we going to be able to use that correctly? The speed and the body is there.
White to Dorsey in the right-hand corner. White gets it back. Kayla Clark up on top. 15 on the shot clock, 4 on the game clock in the second quarter. Clark sets the screen, gets it back from Phillips, back to the top. Nicholson drives in, kicks to Clark, mid-ranger on the baseline, missed everything. And a rebound taken by C.J. Wilson and Prairie View A&M. Drive the ball, girls.
Yes, we have the body, we have the speed. Let's just do that. Float it.
C.J. Wilson around a screen from left to right at the top of the key. It's flashed back to Asia Thompson, who's the top scorer in the game right now for Prairie View with 8. Thompson goes around a screen, picks it back up to the top for Adriana Waddle. She goes all the way in. Actually, that's Nia Jordan. Scores on the drive, uncontested. Kayla White. Crossover move, kick to the corner. Shamari Phillips catch and shoot 3, short. Rebound Prairie View. Again, one pass off a drive, nothing in the lane, and a turnover for the Wildcats off a missed shot. 20-13 Prairie View right now.
And that's one thing I understand. Why do we always drive towards the free throw line and kick it out to a three-pointer where we could easily float it or drop it down low to a
long
post player?
2 from Thompson, no good. Rebound grabbed offensively by Adriana Waddle. Her putback is swatted by Kayla Clark, who gets the block. Dorsey quickly in transition. 3-on-2 for the Cats if they hurry. Dorsey goes all the way in.
Yes,
there it is.
A drive. And that's what we're looking for.
A drive and an easy finish for Devontae Dorsey. The Wildcats back down 5, 20-15. Panthers will slow it down with C.J. Wilson, the freshman, playing in her hometown of Atlanta. Prepped at Stockbridge High School, averaged 16 points her senior year. She's going to attack the lane. She goes right. Nice job by McDonald. And McDonald fouls her, trying to strip the ball. Coach Creighton
not happy
incensed at the referee on the far side. As we'll have 3 changes for Prairie View A&M. Kayla White is actually going to pick up the foul. As Waddle comes back in, Crystal Schultz comes back in, and Layla Robinson, the 6-foot-tall freshman. I mean, they're so tall, Prairie View, and they've got so many freshmen on this team.
And they're able to use their height in a way that VCU hasn't been able to as well.
Prairie View with the ball up by 5, 20-15, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. A very low-scoring first half, which favors the Wildcats, who have not been able to hit much of anything. Down low, tough catch by Waddle on the baseline. She resets all the way up top to Thornton with 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Thornton pulls up, long 2, no good. Rebound rebound to Chanel McDonald. Dorsey trying to push the ball the other way. All the way across to Kayla White. White tries to drive by Thornton. Floater in the lane, good!
Driving. Like you said before, those easy shots are going to be able to be there. And if it's not there, they're going to bounce a foul them.
Nice job by Kayla White. She just drove right past Thornton to hit the easy runner.
At speed. Kayla White has that speed.
Wildcats back down 3, 20-17. 1.5 to go first half. If the Wildcats can close to a tie or even take the lead, this will be a mammoth finish to the second quarter. And another turnover as they tried to throw the ball to the post. Kayla White off the outlet pass. Another pass to Phillips. Her layup is good! And 1! Oh, yeah! Here come the Cats!
And this is what we're looking for, Mark. We talked about this earlier before, starting fast, driving in, using your bodies, and having basketball smarts. That pass wouldn't have been able to make it if she did not make that extra pass. That was important.
Yeah, so a great so let's praise everybody. Kayla Clark got the turnover.
Yes.
She threw it ahead to Kayla White. White realized she was going to be pressured on the way up, so she dropped it off to Shamari Phillips, who went up for the easy bucket and got fouled.
Yes, and that's what we're looking for the rest of the game. You know, being able to use not just yourself, but the other teammates that are on the team as well.
Shamari Phillips set the line for an and one opportunity. Off the heel, no good. Ball batted around, loose on the ground. It is a tie-up that should give the ball back to the Wildcats.
Yep.
And a good job by Bethune-Cookman.
This will be a great way for them to get into the lead before halftime has. Get that momentum back up, that morale.
Yeah, 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go in the half, down 20-19. But again, the Wildcats are 1 of 5 from the charity stripe in the first half. If they hit those, they're in the lead already and don't have to worry about it.
Officials timeout on the floor.
We're going to have an officials timeout, not sure what for. The possession arrow did favor the Wildcats, not sure what they're talking about over there on the other side of the court. Though, if you're just joining us, Sabrina and I are basically equivalent to the baseline on the left side of the court, and the action is going on to the basket, the Wildcats attack, all the way to the right. So it's about as far away from us in this building as it's possible to be. Kind of feels like we're home at Moore Gym.
Yes. Some things never
Baseline
change.
in for the Wildcats. Kayla Clark makes the catch at the free throw line, gets a screen into a double team, spinning and got fouled as she put up a layup. Nice job by Kayla Clark. I was half expecting a travel call there because she did
Moved her
slide her
feet.
pivot foot, but I guess the foul came first.
Yes, and then now this is really important. Hopefully that she'll be able to make these free throw shots as well too. This will be able to get
Nope,
some.
not in the active shooting, so it'll be a
inbound
baseline
play.
in.
Yep.
I thought it was, but another baseline inbound. Kayla Clark makes the catch at the nail, dumps
Nice
it down low.
pass.
Maya Johnson is reached in upon immediately by Adriana Waddle. That's going to be a great battle to watch. The 6'2" Waddle and the 6'2" Maya Johnson going at it.
And this will be able to give Amaya Johnson that experience too, because she's a great player, just like Kayla
And
Clark.
another tall post player comes in for the Panthers. The 6'6" freshman from Oneonta, Alabama, Janiyah Polk. It's another baseline in, the third of the possession. Clark makes the catch, Johnson down low, extra pass, right wing corner three, too strong, rebound, Naeem Thornton. I don't hate that play.
Yeah, me neither.
1 minute remaining.
The extra pass was there, though.
Shamari Phillips was wide open.
Yeah, she was.
Prairie View up by 1 on the attack. Dribble handoff, right hand wing. Clark makes the steal at the top of the key. She goes coast to coast. The layup is good, and the Wildcats have a 21-20 lead with 43 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here comes the full court press from Kayla White. The Panthers get it in, and the Cats back off.
The Wildcats are ready to hear. They're here to prove something. You know, they haven't had the strongest conference play in the longest, but this is something that they have worked on, and they're here not to lose.
8-0 run for Bethune-Cookman over the last 2.5 minutes. Driving into the free throw line. Pull-up jumper good from Naeem Thornton. She's had a great first half. She's got 10 points. And most of them on plays that just look right like that. 22-21. Wildcats will hold for the final shot, down by 1 here in the first half. 9 seconds to go. White guarded all the way up on top by Wilson. White crossover left, gets to her spot, pulls up long 2, misses it off the heel. Clark, the rebound. It doesn't matter because time's going to run out. The Wildcats will go into the half down by 1. But considering how down we were about halfway through the second half, a great last 5 minutes for the Wildcats to close within 1.
And these last 5 minutes, the score matches how they're playing, you know what I mean? The first half, yes, it wasn't such a big lead or deficit that we did have, but at the end of the day, though, they're actually playing like they're working for those points. They're not letting anything pass, making those extra plays.
Neither team great. Prairie View 9 of 21 from the floor. The Wildcats 10 of 32. They took 32 shots in the first quarter, and they were 0 of 8 from 3. But guess what changed the last 5 minutes? The Wildcats abandoned the 3-ball for the most part. They drove into the lane, and they got points off turnovers. They end the first half with 10 points off of 11 Prairie View turnovers.
And I want to see the same thing over and over again when it comes to the second half. Please, let's not go back to those three-pointers unless we know for a fact our best players, Janessa Kelly, Shamari Phillips, are there to be able to take those three. And even then, look for those second chance shots or that extra pass.
We're going to take about a 10-minute break for halftime. If you're here on YouTube, you can just stay where you're at. If you're on 1380 WELE, we're going to go back to some radio halftime programming. When we come back, we'll recap the first half, get you all the stats you need to know, and break down the bracket on the women's side in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Once again, at the half, it's Prairie View A&M 22, Bethune-Cookman 21. The Wildcats close on a 9-2 run to get back within one before the break. This is Bethune-Cookman women's basketball of the 2025 Men's and Women's SWAC Basketball Tournament in Atlanta. It's halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back on the CatEye Network Radio in 1380 WELE. Welcome back to the Gateway Center in Atlanta, Georgia, where it's halftime in the first game of the SWAC women's basketball tournament here in the ATL. Bethune-Cookman trailed by as much as 8, but they've come back to trail by just 1 as we get ready to start the second half. My name is Michael Torello. Sabrina Petit-Home is with me. Thank you for tuning in on 1380 WBLE or the CatEye Radio Network, wherever you find yourselves listening from. We welcome you back for the second half. It's currently Prairie View A&M 22, Bethune-Cookman 21. Here are the scoring totals for the first half. First for BCU, I mean, you could say balanced, or you could say not great all around.
Yeah.
McDonald, Clark, and Phillips all have 4. Dorsey, Kelly, Langston, and White all have 2. Asian A. Nicholson has just 1. Not great for the double-double queen to potentially continue her streak, which sits at 16 straight games. And for Prairie View A&M, Naeem Thornton was really the only efficient scorer for either team in the first half. She had 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting and 2 for 2 from the free throw line, also 3 rebounds. Waddle had 4, Wilson had 2, Thompson had 2, Williams had 2, and the former Wildcat Nia Jordan also had 2. The Wildcats out-rebounded Prairie View A&M 18-17 and 8-2 on the offensive glass, leading to just 2 second chance points from those 8 offensive rebounds, and for both teams, 2 second chance points. They turned Prairie View over 11 times, leading to 10 points off turnovers, and 8 of those 11 turnovers were steals. So the Wildcats are aggressively pressuring the ball. They're turning the ball over, but they just haven't been able to execute on the offensive end. That was until they started going to the rack and starting to try and get layups and get to the foul line.
We can call that the shift, you know? And I'm hopefully it doesn't shift back to where they started in the beginning of the quarter. So this is something that I'm hoping to see as they continue to make. I think the extra passes has really been helping them out. It gives them time to get ready to go up for that shot, you know? Using their post players, going in, driving in like we told them before, you know? This is something that we're looking, we have the body, we have the speed, let's use them.
The Wildcats were 10 of 32 from the floor in the first half. That's just 31%. And 0 of 8 from beyond the three-point line. 1 of 5 from the free throw line. 1 of 5 from the free throw line. I mean, this team we knew is not great from the line, but oh my goodness, that's not great. Prairie View A&M shot 42% in the first half, but was just 9 of 21 because of all the steals and stops the Wildcats were getting. They were also 0 of 6 from the three-point line, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. That's the difference in the game right now.
Yes, and honestly, if we were to go ahead and do keys to the game for the second half, abandon the 3 points. That's the something important. Let's abandon them altogether. It's not working for us. It's the early game. We're not prepared. Use our post players. Use what we have.
As we get ready to get back to action, about a minute left until the second half starts. Remember, it's 22-21, Prairie View over Bethune-Cookman. The other first-round game is Florida A&M against Mississippi Valley on the women's side. That's tonight at 5:30. I'm going to have my eye on that one, Sabrina.
Yes, absolutely. Especially that game versus Jackson State. That really threw me for a whole loop, and I'm really excited to see them go against
And Valley beat Jackson State on Saturday to sneak up into that 9 seed. The winner of that game plays Southern. The winner of this game plays Texas Southern tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's where the Wildcats are going, should they win this one. The other quarterfinal contests are Jackson State against Grambling State and Alabama A&M against Alcorn State. I mean, the Jackson-Grambling game is the most interesting one for me of the quarterfinal matchups that are set. But I really think with Texas Southern struggling the way they have over the past couple of weeks, they closed the season just 2 of their last 6.
Yeah.
If the winner of this game, if they play defensively like they have been and pick it up a little bit on the offensive side, has a real chance for an upset in that game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's really exciting to see because we talked about it, and I've been saying it this entire stream. This SWAC playoffs is 0-0. Like, this is a clean slate, but it's also another time to test to see what we have learned and how are we going to be able to apply it here.
The BCU men don't play till Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. They'll have Alcorn State in the quarterfinals. That's the 3-6 matchup on the men's side, and not a great draw for the men, a team that already beat them twice this year, but they are technically the higher seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, very exciting.
But hopefully, we're right back here tomorrow morning, because that means that BCU won this game and are getting ready to face off against Texas Southern. And if they do, you can hear it right here on 1380 WBLE and the CatEye Radio Network. Both teams are huddling up right before we get the action started. We're waiting for ESPN TV to give us the go-ahead. The Wildcats in the all gold, maroon numbers, white trim. Wildcats above the numbers, arched in block font with maroon and a white trim with a striped maroon stripe on the sides. Bethune-Cookman, or sorry, Prairie View A&M in the all purple, gold on the neck, gold on the bottom of the pants, white numbers with a gold trim. Panthers above the numbers in gold. Prairie View will start with the ball, attacking the basket to Listeter's right. They dunk it down low to Amari Williams, and then she turns the ball over.
Right into Kayla Clark's hands.
First turnover of the second half for the Wildcats. They forced 9 Prairie View turnovers in the first half. Kayla White starts the second half for the Cats. Can she be the offensive spark? She gets double teamed out high and throws the ball away. He tried to get it to the corner for Phillips, and Naeem Thornton was right there. Thornton, who had 10 first half points to lead all scorers, controls the ball out high. She was great on the blow-by, drive, and finish in the first half.
We could definitely expect to see her pull up at that free throw line a lot more, too.
She'll go left, hand the ball back to the top of the key. Here is Schultz. And a 3 on the way from straight on, no good. Nobody's made a 3 so far in this game, but an offensive rebound for C.J. Wilson. She goes to the rack, misses the layup, and it's rebounded by Dorsey. Wildcats get a little bit of a break there with a missed layup. In transition, Kayla Clark, high right wing side, hands back to Dorsey. Ball fake and attack into the lane, lost the ball, offensive foul as she clattered in to Asia Thompson. That's the 4th offensive foul for the Wildcats in the game, 3 of them charges.
Now, yes, I don't think it looked intentional, though. That's one thing it is.
It doesn't matter. If the defender has position and you knock her over, that's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
And maybe that's one of the reasons the Wildcats have been scared to drive, because the Panthers have been doing a great job at taking those charges. And they're right back on the ball now. Prairie View up 22-21, 8:48 to go in the third quarter. Nobody has scored yet in this third period. Top of the key, here's Naeem Thornton. She hands off to Thompson. Thompson hands off, mid-range jumper, no good by C.J. Wilson. And the ball is taken by the Wildcats off the rebound. Kayla White bursting into the front court, dribbles it off her foot, lost the ball in transition, and it's thrown ahead. Asia Thompson all the way in, layup, no good, but a foul is going to be called on Damani Dorsey. Correction, that was Naeem Thornton going up for the layup. Oh my goodness. Even when the Wildcats get the turnovers, they just give it right back immediately. It's happened twice already. And Jordan Brooks is going to come in. And I'm pretty sure it's going to replace Kayla White. Yeah, Kayla White's playing way too fast right now. She's trying to do everything and not giving her teammates time to even set up on the offensive end before she's turned the ball over twice.
And I think that's where maybe Jordan Brooks comes in, because she's just as fast, but she's able to slow that pace down of the game to be able to run those plays.
Naeem Thornton to the line to give the Panthers the first points of the second half. It's good. Front iron window in. And the Wildcats, the Panthers rather, are now 5 of 5 in the charity stripe tonight. They only have a 2-point lead. The Wildcats 1 of 5. Second free throw, spun up and no good. Finally, the Panthers missed it. 23-21, Panthers on top. Asia Nicholson, who picked up 2 fouls in the first half, is back on the floor with 8:15 to go in the third quarter. Jordan Brooks around the Nicholson screen, left to right, top of the key. She gets by her defender, goes all the way in, layup, no good. Another charge.
Wow.
My goodness, Asia Thompson's taken 3 of the 4 charges. My goodness.
But this is also,
I don't think I've ever seen as many charges in a game. And
neither.
We've still got 8 minutes to go in the third quarter.
It's always at least 1 or 2, but this is a lot more. This is a lot more than usually.
Crazy. Panthers have just been afforded every opportunity by the Wildcats offensive fouls to pull away in this third quarter, but have only got 1 point so far off a free throw. Wilson drives left-hand side of the lane. She kicks it out for a drive left to right from Hutchinson. She gets all the way in and finishes off the glass. This is the same thing that happened to the Wildcats the last 5 minutes of the first quarter and the first 5 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah.
Turned the ball over, got nothing done offensively, and couldn't stop the Panthers from getting to the line.
Hesitation.
Down low, Kayla Clark off a pass from Nicholson. Clark goes right out, her defender spins, lays it up, off the glass and in.
Hesitation is also something that hasn't been working in our favor as well.
See, the Wildcats, when they attack the paint, good things happen offensively, and I think they went back to basket and not on a drive because they're scared of those offensive fouls.
Yeah.
7 minutes to go in the third quarter, 25-23, Prairie View with the ball and the lead. The Wildcats led 5-0 and 5-2, but have not led since. Thornton lost the ball. Brooks tapped it away from her, but it goes out of bounds. 6 on the shot clock, so Prairie View will have it right at the midcourt stripe.
And she doesn't look phased at all.
Yeah, and at times this year she has been a little rattled as the freshman on this team. Crystal Schultz, the freshman for Prairie View, comes back in. She's their top scorer on the year, averaging just under 10 per game, but doesn't have one tonight, 0 for 2. Inbound it comes. Thornton with 4 to shoot with 3. Goes left, mid-range, dumps it down low, and shot clock violation. The layup was good by Wilson, but it didn't matter.
Too late.
Good job by the Wildcats to know that there was no time on the shot clock and trap out high and force them to burn the rest of that clock.
We saw a lot of that in more gymnasium where they just kept forgetting to look up at that shot clock to see where shots came in. I'm glad that they were able to use it against their pace.
Horn set. Brooks to Nicholson, top of the key. She dumps it down to Clark at the free throw line. Clark trying to size up a defender. Goes up and under. Long throw up, and it's off the rim, no good. Clark has to pass that. If she gets caught in that situation where she picks up her dribble and she's double teamed in traffic, you got to find the open man there.
And the best thing about it is that since she was double teamed, that post was wide open for somebody to go up and lay up.
At the nail on the left-hand side, Asia Thompson goes all the way down low. The ball's batted around, comes right to the corner. Prairie View keeps it alive. It's Thornton in the corner, the top scorer for the Panthers thus far. Thornton with Brooks switched on to her, goes right by her, gets to her spot. Mid-range jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, Thompson, put back, no good, but a foul is going to be called on Damani Dorsey and send Prairie View back to the line where they are 5 of 6 so far this afternoon.
Kayla White being clocked right back in, and Damani Dorsey is being out. Hopefully their energies with Kayla White and Jordan Brooks are able to bounce off. Shamari coming in for Janessa Kelly as well, too.
The Wildcats have only had 2 field goal attempts so far in this third quarter and have turned the ball over 3 times. Have more turnovers than field goal attempts.
That's not a good look, Mike.
Asia Thompson at the line, gets the first one, the senior out of DeSoto, Texas. Started her college career at Old Dominion. Played just 1 year there, only 8.5 minutes a game. In the last 3 years at Houston, where she was a bench player, only scored 51 total points in 3 years. Both of those are good, 27-23, and the Panthers back up 5. This has happened a lot for the Wildcats this year, where they've just gone into the void offensively for minutes at a time. Kayla White pulls up mid-range, just grazes the front of the rim. Rebound by the 6'2" Adriana Waddle, forces the jump ball.
Wildcats foul.
Wildcats will get the ball off the alternating possession. But again, that's not a great shot by Kayla White. Early in the shot clock, contested from beyond the free throw line in the middle of the court. Nicholson catches up high. She only has 1 point tonight. She drives in to the baseline, throws it up, no good. Clark there for the rebound. And an offensive foul called on Clark for going over the back of Thornton.
Wow. They're doing a really good job on the Wildcats being able to be called on that. And I think that's going back to reiterate what you said about this is probably why they were a little bit scared to drive in. It's honestly, really
and it's going to be shots for Prairie View.
Have we reached the bonus?
Already in the bonus with 5:41 to go in the third, and this could get very ugly very quickly.
Yep.
Now, I'll say it. That play happened right in front of us.
Yes, and
there
it didn't look like
there
that.
was no way.
It didn't look
Kayla
like
Clark
that.
did not push off. She was just
And
taller
it
than
looked, it just
Thornton.
looked really clean when she grabbed the ball right over. She just so happened to be taller than her.
Thornton's 5'7". Clark is 6'3". I mean, anyway, Thornton's at the line, and she makes the first free throw. Correction, this is C.J. Wilson, which is even a bigger height difference. You can't punish Kayla Clark for being taller and just standing straight up.
Especially since we've been getting all these multiple offensive calls. It's not
2 of 2 at the line.
all.
8 of 9 of the game for Prairie View, and they've got their largest lead of the night, 29-23. The Wildcats have not scored in the last 2 minutes and are one of their last 5 from the field. Here's the Wildcats on offense. Shamari Phillips dishes to Nicholson at the top of the key. Nicholson to the corner. White takes the 3, in and out. Nicholson the offensive rebound. She hands back to White in the corner, drives in, lost the ball, tapped away from her. Thankfully, Janessa Kelly will grab it, and she got fouled on the back, hit by C.J. Thornton. And they're actually going to call the foul on Thompson, as Thompson and Wilson collided with Janessa Kelly. We're starting to see Asia Nicholson try and assert her dominance on the boards.
Yeah, I definitely want to commend Alcorn for not having such a, I apologize, Prairie View, the colors got me mixed up. Prairie View, for even though they don't have a deep bench, but they were able to keep their players fresh and coming in alive at each play.
Nicholson catches top of the key off the inbounds pass, 5:16 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats looking for anything offensively, spinning in the lane, floater no good from Nicholson. Rebound to the Panthers and Adriana Waddle. Again, another empty possession for the Wildcats. 2+ minutes without scoring. 9-2 run for Prairie View.
Can we talk about...
Oh, here's the steal. Nicholson picks off a pass. She goes all the way in, lays it in.
Every time she comes down for a layup, it just looks like she might just actually dunk. You know, yeah, she may not have the height, but it's so flawless and effortlessly whenever she comes up for that layup.
AJ Nicholson, who is second in the country in double-doubles and 5th in total rebounds.
In the nation, right?
In the nation. Gets a steal and an easy score there to finally put the Wildcats back on the board. 29-25. Panthers leading the ball. The Wildcats press. It comes to the right-hand wing for Thornton after Jordan got out of a double team. Thornton denies the screen, goes left. Sizes up Janessa Kelly, 6 on the shot clock. Gets to her spot, long 2 is short. Boxing out for the rebound is Ajane Nicholson.
To switch the focus from our Wildcats up.
Cross-court pass, Jamari Phillips in the left-hand corner. Back to the top for Nicholson. She drives all the way in. Layup, good, as she blew by Nia Jordan.
She found that fire bag that matches her hair color, and she's on it. She has been on the ball.
4 straight points for Nicholson have the Wildcats back in touching distance, 29-27. Timeout, Prairie View A&M. Sandy Pugh, the head coach there, wants to talk it over as Ajane Nicholson has started to assert her dominance in the game. She's up to 5.7 rebounds. Just like that, she only had 1 point and 2 rebounds in the first half, and here she comes.
She changes it. I would expect a coach over at Prairie View to probably start double teaming Ajane now that she's in there, because they're going to keep passing her the ball. So we need to find a different outlook instead of Ajane to become the ball. In that case, that they do end up double teaming her.
Bethune-Cookman closes the gap to 2. 29-27, they trail with 3:56 to go in the third quarter. This is Bethune-Cookman University Women's Basketball on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WBLE. Back at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, it's the SWAC tournament. We've got 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's Prairie View A&M 29, Bethune-Cookman 27, but 2 straight steal and scores by Ajane Nicholson have the Wildcats back in touching distance at the media timeout here in the third quarter. Sabrina, it baffles me how the Wildcats can go so cold on offense, but the defense keeps them in the game because they've forced Prairie View to shoot just 10 of 27 from the floor, 0 of 7 from 3, even though the Wildcats are shooting 13 of 40 from the floor. They've just about done enough to stay in it right now.
I think one thing that we definitely BCU has a history of is not having that balanced momentum, and Coach Creighton is definitely trying to be able to figure out how are we able to keep that stabilized with the chess pieces that we do have on that floor.
I mean, the big positive for the Wildcats in this one, right, is the 15 turnovers and the 12 points off turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a lot of times when you turn Prairie View over, you try and go too fast and just give it right back.
And we need to be able to use our players, like Kayla, like how you said before, that she is too fast. Hopefully she's able to figure out how to slow it down, because when she slows that game down with her speed, she makes beautiful plays.
Prairie View ball, 3:56 to go third quarter. They're up by 2, 29-27. Controlling out high is Michaela Hutchinson. She's guarded by Asian Nicholson. Nicholson now switches on to Thompson, who's got the ball. Thompson tries to drive past McDonald. She gets double teamed, and she barely got the ball away to C.J. Wilson, who resets. Long cross-court pass, left-hand corner, catch and shoot three, too strong. There for the rebound is Kayla White, and the Wildcats get another stop. Long pass in transition. Phillips goes down low to Nicholson on the baseline in the left-hand corner. All the way across, Kayla White sizes up Thornton on the right-hand wing. White will reset as Coach Creighton Del Rosario calls a play. 15 on the shot clock, 3:20 on the game clock in the third quarter. Kelly, catch and shoot three from the wing. In and out, no good. Battling for the rebound is Chanel McDonald, and she's going to be called for another over the back.
Oh, my goodness. One thing about it, those cross-court passes
And
do
yeah,
make you nervous.
Coach Creighton is very hot. I would not be surprised if she picks up a second point, because these over the backs are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous, and we're about as far away from the play as Coach Creighton is. Just we're on the other side of the court. There's nothing there. There's barely any contact.
No contact, no nothing. It's just carrying the ball. They're both jumping for it at the end of the night. If it's a little contact, it's not no intentional foul, no offensive foul. Nobody's bumping into each other.
We'll take another quick break. When we come back, it's more basketball action here from Atlanta. Prairie View 29, Bethune-Cookman 27. This is Bethune-Cookman women's basketball on the CatEye Network and 1380 WBLE. Back at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, the VCU Marching Wildcats serenade us back to action. It's a great venue. I mean, it's about 2,000 seats, small seating bowl around. You got the Wildcat band over there. You got the Prairie View band on the other side.
It's like we're back home. Instead of the big gym, though. You know, it's something I do with, but it does feel like we're back home when we have a piece of the band and a piece of the cheerleaders with us. Always a great vibes on the Pride and the Wildcats cheers are with us.
Once again, back live at the SWAC basketball tournament. Prairie View A&M 29, Bethune-Cookman 27. The Wildcats have struggled with offensive fouls. They've taken 6 of them, 4 charges and 2 over the backs. And those over the backs have got Coach Creighton Del Rosario not happy, as the first end of a 2-shot penalty is missed by Adriana Waddle, as she got the over the back call, quote unquote, called before the break by Chanel McDonald. 3:15 to go third quarter, 29-27 before this second free throw. Waddle missed them both. Rebound Nicholson. Waddle is a 50% free throw shooter. White, little crossover move in the middle, floater in the lane, in and out. Nicholson there for the rebound. Nicholson retreats to the corner, throws it back to White at the nail. White drives all the way in along the baseline, kicks it back out to Kelly, and then Shamari Phillips will reset top of the key with 10 to shoot.
Hopefully slow it down.
Phillips, face guarded by Hutchinson. Phillips goes right, finds Kelly steps in, long two, off the window, no good, didn't touch anything. That would have been a shot clock violation anyway, but the Panthers grabbed the rebound. Empty possession for Bethune-Cookman, even though they got 2-0 boards. Still down 29-27, 2.5 to go here in the third. Prairie View controls out high on the left with C.J. Wilson. Wilson hands to Thornton, who's the top scorer in the game with 11 points. Thornton tries to go around Kelly, who locks her up on the right wing side. Cross-court pass to the left wing. Here's Michaela Hutchinson beyond the three-point line. Steps inside it with 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Catch and shoot 3 is no good by C.J. Wilson, and the rebound goes out of bounds. Tapped out, it'll stay with the Panthers. Asia Nicholson got it for the, tapped it for the Cats, and Jordan Brooks is going to come on to replace Janessa Kelly. And with the three-pointers not falling, the teams are combined 0 for 18 from 3 today. Yeah. Janessa Kelly not really the most useful player right now, the three-point shooter. Extra possession for Prairie View. There's a corner 3. It's short. Nicholson grabs the board. That 3 was missed by Adriana Waddle. Kayla White all the way in, floats it up with the right hand, rolls around and out. Nicholson got the putback and got fouled. Didn't make the layup, though. She got the underside of the rim, but again, Asian and Nicholson, crazy
comeback.
I mean, on the offensive glass, too, I mentioned she's number 2 in the country in offensive rebounds, 142 on the season coming into the game.
You know, she didn't really have a hot start today, but definitely in the second half, she came back to, you know, make his name, you know, hold that to herself.
Asian Nicholson, coming into the game, is currently 2nd in the NCAA Division I in double-doubles with 21, only behind LSU's Anisha Morrow. As here's the first free throw for Nicholson. It is good. She's also 5th in total rebounds and rebounds per game, 350 coming into the game, and 11.7, and 2nd in offensive rebounds behind Morrow with 142. Having one of the best seasons in BCU history, she hits both free throws.
Coming from Alabama A&M, you know, I always wanted to talk to her, like how she was able to adjust and be that player that she is today.
Tied at 29. Prairie View with the ball, attacking the basket to listeners right. Wildcats try and double team out high. Wilson finds Thornton at the top of the key. Now Thornton picks up her dribble, got double teamed. Back to Wilson, steps through to the free throw line. Kick to the baseline. Long 2 on the way. Oh, it's a 3. I thought that Aisha Thompson's foot was on the line. Apparently not. It's the first 3 of the game by either team, and it's 32-29.
Yeah, let's see if that was be able to start a little three-point roar. It's not what we really need right now for the Wildcats. So hopefully they keep it to what they have to play Wildcat basketball.
Kayla White tries to turn the corner, releases the outlet to Shamari Phillips at the top of the key. She goes back to White. White gets the screen from Nicholson right in front of the free throw line. She pulls up at the free throw line and misses everything. Didn't even hit the rim. Yeah. Wow.
From over here, it looked like it was going in, though.
Well, because we're straight on to the court. Wow. This is... Listen, this is an almost legendarily poor shooting afternoon from Bethune-Cookman, and they're down 3.
That's something that we say, the way that they're playing, you would think that they were down by so much more, but, you know, that work ethic definitely is going to shine through.
Wildcats will show token full court press, then back off and give Prairie View the ball with a minute to go in the third quarter. Prairie View up 3 after that three-pointer by Thompson went down. Wildcats blitz the screen. Wilson releases to Williams, top of the key, into the left-hand corner. 3 on the way, no good. And the rebound is fought for and grabbed by Kayla Clark as she ripped it out of Thornton's hands. Clark races up the floor right in front of us. Passes to Clark. She got her shot blocked, but a foul is called on Williams as she followed through on Clark's arm after she got the ball.
Yes, I definitely saw what was going on there. But Miss Williams over here trying to keep the spirits up, although the call that was being called against her in that foul. I honestly think down the low on the offensive side, that double teaming is working for them. It's, you know, causing Prairie View to, you know, be discombobulated just a little bit.
Okay, so the foul is not going to go on Williams. It's going to go on C.J. Wilson.
Oh, okay.
That'll be her 3rd foul. Dorsey has 3 fouls for the Wildcats. Nobody else in the game has more than 2. And Kayla Clark will go to the free throw line for the first time this afternoon. Kayla Clark also potentially flirting with a double-double. She's got 6 and 5. Nicholson's got 7 and 11 already.
I don't think she's done playing basketball. That's one thing's for sure.
Not today. Not in her career, Asian Nicholson. She's only a junior. You know who is done playing basketball after today if the Wildcats don't win? It's Kayla Clark, because she's a senior, celebrated her senior night on Saturday at Moore Gymnasium with the Wildcat comeback win over FAMU. First free throw, no good. On the season, Kayla Clark shoots the free throw at just 45%. I mean, It's crazy how much the Wildcats have shot themselves out of games from the free throw line this season.
Yeah.
Second one good, 1 of 2, and it's a 2-point game, 32-30 Prairie View, 42 seconds to go third quarter.
It definitely makes you think, how far would we have gotten into the conference if we were definitely to have a higher free throw percentage? Because we did have a lot of seconds.
Thornton, top of the key, tries to throw it down low. Clark with the steal.
Nice. 29 seconds left on the clock. What are they going to do with the ball?
Shot clock off. Clark into the front court off the pass from White. White gets it back, and the Wildcats will potentially hold for the final shot here. Chance to tie or take the lead at the end of the third quarter, down 32-30. 15 seconds to go. Kayla White will pound the ball against the hardwood all the way out on top near the SWAC's logo. Now she approaches the top of the free throw line, guarded by Naeem Thornton. Gets a screen, goes left, gets blitzed off the screen.
Oh.
McDonald tried to make the catch, turns the ball over. 1 second left, half-court heave. No good, but no good. No good. Thought they might have called a foul, but no.
Yeah.
That was in and out. That was almost close to a half-court shot from Naeem Thornton, but again, the Wildcats have a chance to tie or take the lead, and they turn the ball over. That's just poor communication by Chanel McDonald and Kayla White. It looked to be a simple pick-and-roll play.
Yeah. Okay, so you usually ask me this question. I'm Coach Creighton. What would you do in the last quarter? Now I'm going to ask you that question. What would you do to turn this around, to get the lead, tie the game, or even continue forward?
Well, defensively, I think you're doing all right.
Yes.
Aggressively double-teaming off high ball screen action has been working. You're creating turnovers. You're double-teaming in the post when it goes down low. All that needs to continue. On the offensive side, I think they've got to attack the paint more. I know you've gotten some charges. I know you've gotten some offensive fouls. You can't go away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Kayla White pull up and take some ugly shots in the middle because she's scared of driving all the way into the post. And the way to do that is throw it to the post to one of your bigs, let her catch and hold the ball, and then backdoor cut off of it to create some space. That's what I would do.
Also, they need to also look for that baseline whenever they're on defense, because every time they're getting beat by the baseline. You know, Alcorn pushes up, they pull them to the top of the key every time and exposes that baseline and lower paint for them to be able to pass down to either Waddle or Williams down on the paint to be able to make those layups. And we want to be able to make sure that we're keeping that momentum and watching every spot that they're doing it, because they're doing it every time. 3 quarters down, 1 quarter to go here in Atlanta. Wildcats trying to keep their season alive. They trail 32-30 right here on the CatEye Network Radio and 1380 WBB. Fourth quarter on tap. The Wildcats will either live to play another day or have their season come to an end in the next 10 minutes as they trail the Prairie View A&M Panthers 32-30 here in Atlanta at the SWAC tournament first round. A win would see the Wildcats go to tomorrow morning's game to play the 2 seed Texas Southern. Prairie View starts with the ball attacking the basket that they attack to listeners right. Up on top, Naeem Thornton. 15 seconds on the clock. Thornton double teamed off of a screen. She continues her dribble. 9 seconds left to go. Down low, wide open as Williams missed the layup, got her own rebound, and is fouled on the putback. Didn't we just talk about that before the fourth quarter started? Is that they're going to continue to pull them up to the top of the key and expose the paint and pass it down to Williams every time for that layup. They're using their height.
At the line is going to be Amari Williams. First trip to the line tonight. Shoots the free throw at 62%, which is good for a big like that, 6'4". First one is good, and it is 33-30, Prairie View over Bethune-Cookman. The Wildcats have not started the quarters well. They've always had to come back towards the end of quarters. You can't let Prairie View get too far away here and pull away in the fourth quarter.
Wilson returns.
Wilson comes back for Prairie View after Williams hits both free throws. It is 34-30.
Still anybody's game. Well, right now it's Prairie View's, but still anybody's game.
Wildcats in the all gold, down by 4. Attacking and spinning is Nicholson. She hands off to Damani Dorsey and then to Kayla White. White backs up to the top of the key, 10 to shoot. White wants the screen from McDonald, gets it, goes back to McDonald on the pick and roll. She stops at the baseline, kick out, end of the shot clock, 3 from the left wing, no good. The Wildcats still 0 for 10 from beyond the arc today. In transition, pull up mid-range, good from C.J. Wilson.
I'm driving down to that free-point line. They're going to take it. We don't want to lose momentum while we're this close. 8 minutes left into the fourth quarter. What exactly is the Wildcats going to do? What trajectory? What play?
Quick 4-0 run for the Panthers to start the fourth quarter. They're up by 6, 36-30. Kayla Clark controls out high, fakes the 3, drives in, one-handed floater, good to the foul! Wow.
I talk about this every single time, from her freshman year to her senior year. The growth and the difference of how she's playing and how she's using her body is tremendous.
Wow.
I love it.
Kayla Clark hit that one off one leg from just inside the free throw line.
My goodness.
And she's going to go to the line for an and one to try and cut the deficit, 36-32 currently, with one shot coming for the senior out of Miami. Kayla Clark trying to not have her college career end this afternoon. The free throw is good, 36-33.
She's definitely letting us know that they're working for it.
The Panthers really doing a good job clogging up the lane, preventing the Wildcats from getting into the post. Here we go. Panthers call a play. Naeem Thornton, who's the top scorer in the game right now with 11, up top. 16 on the shot clock, 8:20 on the game clock in the fourth quarter. At the nail, throwing it down low, off the underside of the rim, no good from Williams. Rebound, Kayla White. Dorsey shovels it to White up the floor. White dribbles through the traffic at the free throw line, hands it back to Kayla Clark, who jumps to make the catch. Clark fakes the 3, hands to White, left-hand corner. She takes the 3, hits the front rim, no good. The Wildcats are 0 for 11 from three-point land today.
At that play that just happened, I would have loved to see Kayla White pump fake, go in for a mid-ranger, and then come up for a shot.
And that's what she hit the last time down the floor. She didn't take it this time. Panthers back on offense up by 3, 7:43 to go in the game. They go to down low again. This time, Thompson makes the catch. Layup no good. Offensive rebound for Williams. The ball is ripped away from her. Jump ball called. And the possession arrow goes to the Wildcats.
Williams is not liking that call at all.
The Wildcats will flip possession.
Jump ball is a call. Possession belongs.
So both teams were, I'm going to say it, terrible in the third quarter on offense. The Wildcats 9 points. The Panthers 10 points, but the Panthers only hit 2 field goals in the third quarter.
The stats are all over the place today.
Kayla White back to Nicholson between the circles. Nicholson drives into the free throw line, stops, keeps the dribble, spins in the lane, puts a left up shot, and good with the left hand.
They are loving this game every single time. I'm loving the bomb that's out there.
Nicholson up to 9 points and 11 boards. 38-33. Wait, that's not the correct score.
Yeah, no, something's going on.
I think they put the score on the wrong team. Nicholson gets a steal at the top of the key. She's alone, all the way in, layup, good. Timeout, Prairie View A&M. Every time the Wildcats need a spark, it's Aisha Nicholson. Over and over and over again, the Wildcats take the lead, 37-36, as we go to a timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's only a 30-second timeout.
I'm really hyped. One thing you can't deny, Mike, is one thing about the Wildcats. When they get going, they get going. That momentum continues to flow up. And I think Aisha was a great addition to this team because she keeps that spark alive along with Kayla White's speed and the way that Kayla Clark uses her body. It's the perfect team team when you think about it. But we just need to be able to use those plays and those pieces and keep it together.
But how good has Asia Nicholson been, not just in the post,
Yes.
but defensively at the top of the key? She's
Yes.
forced 3 crucial turnovers.
And she's been doing it effortlessly. Like it's like she doesn't even try. But those are the type of players that you can take care of to continue to keep moving.
Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at Nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to BCUathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's BCUathletics.com and click on shop. A reminder what's on the line here today. This is a first round game in the SWAC Women's Basketball Tournament. The winner advances to tomorrow afternoon at 11 a.m. to play the number 2 seed Texas Southern. If the Wildcats get there, we'll be back on your airwaves at 11 a.m. tomorrow for that game. If the Wildcats unfortunately fall in this one, we'll be back on the air Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. as the Wildcat men's team take on Alcorn State in the men's quarterfinals. But we like to think positively around here.
We do.
We like to hope that the Wildcats, who lead for the first time since it was 21-20 now at 37-36 with 6:52 to go in the contest, can close this one out, Sabrina.
This one looks a little bit familiar to me, and we're talking about our last game against our rivals, FAMU or Florida A&M. Towards overtime, this is like an overtime for me, feel. Whenever the Wildcats were able to spark that momentum that they were able to get, they were able to lock in that focus and be able to close the game out with a win. And I'm hoping that they're able to repeat that again today against Prairie View A&M. This is something that's, it's just a battle of who wants it more. The score is, it's 1 point. It's 1 point less, 1 point more. Who wants it more? Battle of offensive, defensive. Thornton has been on fire today for the Alcorns along with Williams, but we want to be able to make sure if they're smart enough to put Williams in foul trouble, that would be able to alleviate the pain or the fights that Wildcats has been going through and they continue to drive in.
Asia Nicholson, her 12th straight double-double, her 22nd of the season with 11 points and 11 rebounds. I mentioned already, she has passed Tabitha Clarkson, who played for the Wildcats in 1987 to have the second most rebounds in a season in Bethune-Cookman history. It doesn't matter if the Wildcats go all the way to the national championships. He's not catching number 1, who is Rosanna Pearson in 1985. 480 rebounds. She did 120 more rebounds to catch her.
Wow, and that's honestly how you do Women's International Month. What better way by almost creating or beating a record in BCU's history, or her story.
She's going to go in the record books.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the job is not done. 37-36 Wildcats back to action. Prairie View controls, attacking left to right. C.J. Wilson, who's got 6 points in the ball game, controls out high. She is stared down by Dorsey. Dorsey now switches on to Thornton, who's got the ball at the top of the key. 16 to shoot. Thornton pounds the ball against the hardwood, goes left, now faces up against Clark. Pulls up, makes it from 15 feet.
Touchy, Thornton has been on fire.
Niam Thornton does not want to go home today either. She's up to a game-high 13 points, and it's 38-37 Prairie View. Kayla White on offense for the Cats, gets a screen from Nicholson, doesn't take it, goes back to the top. Clark in the corner, fakes the 3, drives baseline, gets all the way in, bucket! Oh, no bucket.
No bucket.
But the foul.
But
I thought that was going in.
She'll be able to make up that bucket at the free throw line, and this is something that it comes to the test. That pressure, it has to go in there.
From the angle we have, I thought she had made that, and it just fell off the rib.
That's exactly how I felt when Kayla Carr had came in for that mid-ranger, and it was completely missed. I was like, I could have sworn it went in.
Yeah. So Kayla Clark, one of the seniors that are done after this year, Chanel McDonald, Cassandra Hawthorne, Shamari Phillips, and Kayla White, the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, and I talked about this at length in the post-game show on Saturday on Senior Day, as Kayla Clark's first free throw is good. I'm going to miss the two Kaylas the most, I think, Kayla Clark and Kayla White. They've given so much to this program over the last 4 years, stayed through all the struggles. They could have easily transferred out and tried to find greener pastures, as the second one is no good. 1 of 2 from the line to tie the game. They're at 38. Prairie View with the ball.
And to reiterate what you were saying, Kayla Clark was playing when I was a sophomore, and this is bittersweet to see her go from,
C.J. Wilson double-teamed on the baseline, picks up her dribble. She's got to go somewhere with it. Goes down low to Williams in the post. Hook shot, no good off the rim. Offensive rebound for the Panthers, though. Resetting to Thornton, top of the key. She's guarded by Nicholson. 15 to shoot, 5:46 to go in the contest, tied at 38. Somebody's season is ending today. Thornton pulls up, misses everything on a mid-range jump shot. Wildcat ball as it goes out of bounds. Wow.
We bring some of our more maniacs from us all the way to Daytona Beach. The band is going crazy.
It's the band
Yeah.
is sitting right next to us. I'm sorry if it's a little loud in here. The band is literally 5 feet from us off to the left.
They know how to show out for their Wildcats.
Wildcats with the ball in a tie game. Kayla White gets a double screen up high, goes right to left, goes all the way into the paint. Now we'll back it out and reset to Nicholson between the circles. Nicholson goes to McDonald on the baseline left-hand side. McDonald stopped up by Waddle. Her cross-court pass finds Kayla White with 10 to shoot. White on to Nicholson to the low block. McDonald goes in, has her shot blocked. Clark gets it back, 4 to shoot on the baseline. Dribbles around, goes to the baseline, and the pass is overcooked.
Shot clock violation.
And it's a shot clock violation. Kayla White is arguing that the ball hit the rim. It did not.
It didn't. I think one thing about Chanel, or what I wish to see, looking at it, she went to the left, and I wish she would have went to the right because it was completely open, and she could have at least took shot or go in for a floater right then and there.
And Chanel McDonald is someone we came into the season with lofty expectations. I mean, averaging just 7 points a game. And we thought it was good. She was going to take over this season after last season, but she averaged just under 10. And it hasn't really happened for the senior out of Lake Wales, Florida. Prairie View back on offense, tie game at 38. Naeem Thornton, the top scorer in the game with 13. Dribbles out beyond the arc. Now she kicks it out, straight on 3 from Crystal Schultz, no good. The freshman sensation, the SWAC freshman of the year, still has yet to score in the ball game. Rebound to the Wildcats. Kayla White has some space, goes all the way in, layup,
nice.
Good.
That was a really nice drive.
Nobody stopped the ball, and Kayla White made the Panthers pay.
And they didn't even see her. Honestly, I didn't even see her speed right down the lane into that layup that she did.
30-second timeout called by Coach Creighton Del Rosario with the Wildcats up 40-38. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU women's basketball, follow at BCU WBB on X and Instagram. I want to shout out our whole team that made the trip. Sabrina and I at the desk. We got Bryce, our Director of Sports Information, ahead. We got Lee up here, usually is our producer at home games, but he's doing social media. We got Victoria Sametti also doing social media. If you see videos and pictures on our social pages, that's Victoria and Lee doing those. And one of the things that I've loved doing over the past couple years working with the CatEye Network is getting to bring students along to these kinds of events and show them the ropes and teach them how the sports industry works. And it's great for connections too. I mean, you've been talking to a bunch of SWAC people here this morning, and the career extends beyond school and beyond Bethune-Cookman, and we hope we can place you somewhere.
Absolutely. Networking. I'm super appreciative of y'all.
40-38 Panthers as we start play again. CJ Wilson has the ball, guarded by Nicholson. Back to the top for Thornton. Thornton way out with her heels on the SWAC logo at midcourt. Goes left and right around the screen. Pulls up for a long 2. Back iron, no good. Nicholson the rebound.
It's like she's floating on air when she rebounds. It's insane.
Kayla Clark dribbles the ball across the time stripe. 4 minutes to go in the game. Wildcats by 2, 40-38. Still lots of basketball to be played here in Atlanta to determine if the Wildcats will move on or go home. Chanel McDonald controls top of the key. Throw it away. Threw it over the head of White and into the hands of Michaela Hutchinson.
I'm looking for more chest passes when we're down there. If we're looking to waste some time because we have the lead, let's make it some chest passes. Those are going straight out of some contact.
CJ Wilson calls the play, sends Adriana Waddle to the baseline to clear out. Back to the top for Thornton. Naeem Thornton, the senior out of Columbus, Ohio, hands the ball to the left. It's Thompson, drives in, reverse layup, good. What a shot by Tasia Thompson.
Nice tie game again.
At 3:19 to go.
Shamari Phillips is over there checking in, and it's looking like they're looking for a 3 now.
The Wildcats are 0 for 12 on the afternoon on 3-pointers. Nicholson gets the pass from White, drives in, out of bounds. Prairie View ball. She tried to pass to the corner to set up Kayla White, and White can't hold it.
Coming down for the Wildcats, number 21, Shamari Phillips.
Shamari Phillips comes in to replace Chanel McDonald. Been tough sledding for McDonald today. Just 4 points, 2 of 6 shooting, 3 rebounds. And the Panthers control again in a tie game with 3 minutes to go. Every possession
counts.
With the weight of the world on these young ladies' shoulders. It goes down low to the block. Amari Williams working on Kayla Clark. Williams throws it up, no good. Nice. Clark the rebound. Good job by Kayla down there. Long pass ahead. Nicholson ahead of the pack. She lays it up, no good. Rebound scrambled for and got by Williams. Oh, man.
I think she was a little bit too fast because it was there, but because her trajectory of her body being out, it was way too fast.
Panthers another chance to take the lead. They throw it down low into the post, stolen away by Nicholson. The Wildcats have turned the Panthers over 19 times in the ball game. Kayla White flying down the floor. She finds Clark. Ball fake. Clark up, nice. Splits a double team up and under. The ball hangs on the rim and doesn't go. Unbelievable.
That was such a great move by Kayla Clark down there. These are the things that we're looking for.
That's insane. That should have gone in. Wow. It hung on the rim forever. It just fell out. Wildcats scoreless over the last 2:12 and counting. But the Panthers have only scored 2 points to tie the game. Both teams struggling for offense at the 2-minute mark.
What I'm in fear of is that they're going to continue to waste time and use Thornton or somebody to
Well, that's a great one. Pick and roll, easy layup for Adriana Waddle.
Exactly what we thought that was going to happen. Shamari Phillips, I'm hoping to look for a 3 in that corner, find that sweet spot. But with Thornton on her, it's probably going to be a very tough one.
Timeout, Bethune-Cookman.
Charge the Bethune-Cookman.
Both teams are looking for an answer. 1 minute and 42 seconds left in the game and only down by 2, Mike. This is an exciting game.
30-second timeout. We'll still keep it right here.
Who wants it more?
Right now, it looks like Prairie View, especially on the offensive end, as they've gone back to the post to Williams. And, I mean, Clark's done a decent enough job, but there's only so much you can do with both Waddle and Williams down there.
Right, absolutely. So I'm thinking right now, hopefully they continue to use their post players. The best thing that they could have done was move Kayla Clark from the 3 back down to the 4 and 5 to be that post player that we've been looking for this entire game. Collect the rebounds with Asian and continue to help us, and maybe kick out for some mid-ranges. I don't want to see no 3s. It's way too long. The time that we had 3s was earlier when we had 2 minutes left. It's 1 minute and 42 seconds left now. Mid-ranges and layups only.
Come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcat Athletic Communications Department at bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. That's bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. And your business could be on air with the Wildcats. Who will advance to play another day? Whose season will end? The Wildcats down by 2. 1 minute and 42 seconds to go in the game. Wildcats on offense, attacking the basket to listeners left. Dorsey stopped up. White alone on the left-hand wing. The screen comes from Dorsey. She goes around it, splits a double team, has the ball poked away and turned over to C.J. Wilson. And then Nicholson scrambling on the baseline. Wilson comes away with it again as they almost turn it over. Wildcats try and press and trap them in the backcourt. And they barely get it over across with 1 second left before a 10-second violation. And now Prairie View will hold the ball up 2 with 1 minute and 8 to go.
And this is what I was just talking about, that I feel like they're going to be very strategic with it. Slowing the time down so they don't have any time to put a shot in.
60 ticks left. Wilson blocked by Nicholson on a mid-range jumper. Wildcats down to 50 seconds left. Here's Kayla White. Shovels it across to Phillips. Back to Dorsey. Timeout called by Bethune-Cookman.
That was the smartest thing to ever happen right now. 47.8 seconds left in the game. What are you doing, Mike? Like, what are we doing? We said no 3s. It's going to be either an overtime pass or it has to be a 3.
I don't know. I mean, nothing has worked offensively for the Wildcats consistently other than a steal and run-out layup. Right now, there is no one I would trust to go for a clutch bucket. I don't know what they're drawing up right now, but whether it's going to be a guard or a forward, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Honestly, right now, the only thing, if it were with me, I'd use Asian. I'd use her down there. But knowing Prairie View, they're probably going to double team her the entire time of our possession, and it's not looking really too hot for us.
Another ridiculous cold streak by the Wildcats at the worst possible time. They were leading in this game, and then they haven't scored for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. But they're 0 for their last 12 from the floor, and they're still only down by 2.
Something about the Wildcats, though, on a positive note, they're going to be able to shift things really quickly, and I'm looking to see if that shift is going to happen now. You know, it's down by 2. It's not a lot. We just need a bucket, and it's our possession. You know?
The possession arrow favors Prairie View, so any tie-up will go to the Panthers. It is our ball out of the timeout.
Our ball.
Which means Prairie View could just try and tie us up and take possession.
Yep.
You got to be careful, got to hold on to the ball. I think you got to go post. I mean, either Kayla Clark or Adrienne Nicholson, that's maybe your best option.
With Waddle being in the game, going post kind of seems like a stretch, you know. Jordan is also in the game, and, you know, they've been phenomenal down low. You know, very, very phenomenal. We have to be able to use their play on them and pinch them at the top. They're in the 2-3 defense.
BCU ball, down by 2:45 seconds to go. Here's Damani Dorsey. Double teamed at the top of the key. Who's open? It's Shamari Phillips on the left-hand wing. Back to Dorsey. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Phillips in the corner. White takes the three. Misses everything. Rebound Prairie View. They're going to try and trap in the backcourt. And a timeout called by Prairie View. That was not the shot.
No.
You're 0 for 13 from 3 in the game, and it's a contested corner 3 by Kayla White, and she missed everything.
Mike, I'm telling you right now, if she ran the same play that she ran earlier, pump fake, drive in, take a mid-ranger, or at least, because once you're pump faking, somebody on the other side is bound to pull up on the other side of the post. If it's not there, pass it for the layup.
Timeout Prairie View, and now the Wildcats will either have to look for a quick steal or a foul with 28 seconds to go in the game. There is 0.8 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Sabrina, that feels like the last chance, and we didn't get a good look out of it. Now, how many times did we say that in the men's game last Saturday, and they still came back to win? But this one would take some sort of a similar kind of miracle.
And Asiana's been on it, like you talked about her being there defensive-wise, grabbing steals, but she can't do it by herself. They have to press. They have to literally run it for the once this entire season, run the press correctly if they want to continue to play basketball the next day.
The Wildcats will hard full court press, 8 seconds to get into the front court for Prairie View. They trigger the inbound. Thornton pressured by Nicholson, and a foul called on Nicholson as she tripped her. And she's going to send her to the free throw line.
She has to be able to shift her foot. Her foot was way, way too solid on that ground.
Actually, only the second foul on the Wildcats in the quarter. But that'll reset the shot clock. And now the shot clock is off. 25 seconds left. Now you got a foul.
Yep.
And you're still got to get 3 fouls to put them in the bonus. It's going to drain so much time off the clock. So you're really hoping for a steal off of one of these.
They're going to pass it.
Inbound at midcourt. It comes back to a wide-open Nia Jordan. The former Wildcat is fouled by Kayla Clark. And that might just do it. The Wildcats scoreless over the last 4 minutes. And still only down 2, but
22 seconds is not much, maybe.
And
we never know.
They still got to foul 2 more times to send the Panthers to the line.
Yeah.
And then you could be down 4 if they make both free throws.
If we're still on our side of the court, I'm looking for a steal, a block, somebody attack the court, attack the paint.
They're going to bring in Crystal Schultz, the 5'8 freshman who hasn't had a great game tonight. 0 for 4 from the floor. No points for the SWAC freshman of the year, but she's still a little bit more height at the guard position. They throw the ball in the front court. Wide open CJ Wilson. She's going to run away from Nicholson and try and waste clock. Nicholson fouls her. That's her 4th foul.
Okay, we got to be careful.
One more foul to send Prairie View to the free throw line with 19 seconds to go. One more chance to get a steal, but nobody covered CJ Wilson. She was wide open.
Now we're on their side of the court. Things are starting. It's intense right now.
It doesn't look good for the Wildcats. Now we're going to have to rely on some missed free throws. The kindness of strangers.
Which is really, really hard for us to say because Prairie View is 67.8%.
Prairie View calls a timeout. They couldn't get the ball inbounds.
Still some hope. Now what I'm looking for is overtime. I'm looking for an overtime if it's possible. 19 seconds left.
That's what the Wildcats need.
An overtime. That'll give us a second chance for them to, recalibrate, adjust what their plays need to be, what movements need to be made. They have to get a block of steal in that inbound play.
In the first game between these two teams back on February 8th, Bethune-Cookman led at the end of the 3rd quarter, but Prairie View dominated the 4th. They outscored the Wildcats 18-11 to take the game in Houston, Texas. And in this 4th quarter, it's 10-10 on points.
Same thing. Same thing that happened last game is happening today. But it's the SWAC, and we talked about this earlier. Anything can happen. Yes, it's only 19 seconds left in the clock, but anything can happen.
But you can't go scoreless for over 4 minutes
And expect us
with
to
your
win.
season on the
Yeah.
line and expect to win.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the Bethune-Cookman defense, they've been really good.
Yeah.
They've kept us in the game when we're shooting 17 of 55 on the
Absolutely.
game. But one steal needed, or else we're going to need to rely on the kindness of strangers, and
Yeah.
we're missing field goals.
I'm hoping Shamari's in, and if there's nobody down there, I have hope and pray to see somebody just shoot a layup. I don't want to see no threes and you're wide open to confirm the game. Take it to overtime.
Wildcats hoping for a miracle, just like the men had on Saturday night. Down by 2, 42-40, 19 seconds to go. Prairie View inbounding right in front of their own bench on the far side of the court from us to the right-hand side. Wildcats need an immediate foul if they don't get a steal here.
Yeah, but if Prairie View gets the ball, they're going to hold it. I'm already called. They're just strategic like that. They're going to hold it.
Inbounding is Asia Thompson. Thompson bounces the ball to Naeem Thornton, who immediately gets grabbed by Kayla White. And Thornton, who is 3 of 4 from the free throw line already today, the high scorer in the game with 13, is going to go to the free throw line to probably ice it for the Panthers.
Yeah, probably not the best player to have fouled.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got to foul the player with the ball.
Yeah.
Adriana Waddle. In for Schultz. And at the line, here's Naeem Thornton.
So it looks like the senior-heavy Prairie View A&M roster: Naeem Thornton, Michaela Hutchinson, Casey Chairs, Jalissa Reese, Asia Thompson, Adriana Waddle, Nia Jordan, all seniors. Looks like they will continue on for at least one more game. They'll go and play their rivals in Texas Southern tomorrow, and they played them on Saturday and lost. They had a big lead in that game, and Texas Southern came back and lost and beat them. They're going to have a chance for revenge. First free throw is good, 43-40, 18 seconds to go. Second free throw is good, and that might just do it.
Yep.
4-point game, 18 seconds, and the final timeout taken by Coach Janelle Creighton-Del-Rosario. Well, if you look back on this women's basketball season, the same things pop up over and over and over.
And
It's the free throw shooting, it's the cold shooting from the floor.
The
I mean,
turnovers.
I'm gonna mention it again. 4 minutes and 13 seconds scoreless in the fourth quarter with the game on the line, with your season on the line. You can't make a bucket.
Yeah.
The turnovers, they've turned the ball over 16 times in the game.
I just really wish that they used their post players a lot more and were able to adjust from, Williams and Waddle were down there and they were defending the paint as they usually do. But if we were able to use their play against them and pinch them up at the top of the key, I think it would have been a much better outcome for us. We lost by 5 this game. Hopefully it's not another point, but it's the same outcome for Prairie View.
Lost by 5 at Prairie View in February, down by 4 with 18 seconds left, no timeouts. Got to make a quick bucket and get a foul.
Yeah.
Well, if the Wildcats have not scored in 4 minutes and 13 seconds, but Prairie View's only scored 6 points in that time.
Yeah.
The Wildcats could have easily pulled away here. Kayla White to inbound. She'll hit Kelly. Corner 3 for Kelly. No good. Rebound Nicholson. Put back. Good. With 13 and a half seconds to go. 42-40. The Wildcats will pressure the inbounds pass. It is a foul as Damani Dorsey pulled down Naeem Thornton as she was attempting to catch the inbounds pass. And that'll put Thornton back to the free throw line with 13 seconds to go. Wildcats out of timeouts, have to go the length of the floor now.
And subbing for the Panthers.
44-42. Well, the men still have to play on Thursday. They don't have an easy draw either. They got Alcorn State, who's already beat us twice this season.
Going to the line for the Lady Panthers.
And here to close it out again is Naeem Thornton.
Shooting 2.
15 points on the night. That's a game high. Ajane Nicholson, 13. A team high for the Wildcats. And 14 rebounds. Another good game for her. Oh, she missed the free throw. So it's going to at least be a 3-point game with 13 seconds left. Wildcats 0 for 14 from three-point land today, but now need one.
Yeah. Hopefully, Janessa Kelly is able to break away and they grab a rebound down below and just, launch it.
I would either want Kelly or White to take it. Probably Kelly.
Oops, sorry. Just a baseball or a football pass just down the court into
Here we go.
a nice layup.
Thornton gets the ball from the referee, spins it in her left hand, takes a deep breath, bounces it once, spins it in her right hand, takes the shot, and makes it. 3-point game, 45-42.
13 seconds left. They're able to do this.
13 seconds left. The Wildcats need a 3. The Panthers will full court press to just try and deny the Wildcats getting into any sort of position.
Williams is in the game, so it's definitely going to be a little bit hard to launch that without her being there to probably intercept it.
Kayla Clark will throw the ball in. Here's Kayla White with 10 seconds left. Driving down the court. White into the corner. Catch and shoot 3. Oh, it's banked in! It's banked in by Damani Dorsey. Tie game. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. Into the front court. The ball's turned over, and we're going to overtime. We're going to overtime. Oh my goodness! The Wildcats hit 1 free throw in the entire game, and it was a bank shot by Damani Dorsey to tie it with 1 second to go. Oh my goodness!
Mike, this is the same thing that happened over Florida A&M. I don't have any words right now. This is honestly, it's like we expected it, but at the same time, again, how is the Wildcats able to bring this back up? But it's the test of the pride, test of the testimony. This is the test of if they wanted more.
What in the world was that, Damani Dorsey?
No words. Nothing. Over 17, 18. The entire game. And that last 3 that counted was able to take them over to overtime. And you know how they act. You know how they play overtime. Just like how they did FAMU. This is the time for them to lock in. FAMU, they put them in overtime to take it to 71-60, Mike. Will they be able to take it again this game? They're not leaving with a loss today, and they're showing us that. Oh my God.
Shades of Jesus Carolero Martin last Saturday from Damani Dorsey. What was that?
Same spot, too.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Right corner 3.
Wow. That defense that they are known for, they're going to need to be able to step it up. I'm talking about, I'm a loss of words.
In the game against Florida A&M last Saturday, the Wildcats scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to force overtime, then scored 15 points in overtime to beat FAMU.
Down by 16.
In the 4th quarter today, they only outscored Prairie View A&M by 2, but that was all that mattered. Holy cow. We thought they were done.
Just like how we thought they were done over at FAMU, but they continuously show us out and tell us, no, we're not. We're not.
Now, reminder, because the Wildcats had to foul so much to get to the free throw line, they still have 5 fouls starting the overtime because the fouls don't reset. Prairie View with only 2 team fouls at the start of overtime.
They're in a little bit of an advantage when it comes to that.
Yeah. But once again, what was it? The kindness of strangers, the missed free throw by Thornton. She'd only missed 1 all game. She is a 73% shooter on the season. And the Wildcats were able to capitalize once again. Damani Dorsey, how about nails for breakfast for the junior out of Baltimore? And she only has 2 buckets in the game. One of them was that 3 to send it to overtime.
Well, maybe sometimes you are. Like every player that's on the court is always needed for something. Now, we're going back to the keys of the game, Mike. Start fast. Be poised. Calm the play down.
Both teams were out, ready to go. The officials have sent them back to their benches. I wonder if they're going to maybe review something. Not sure what we're pausing for here. Once again, as it stands, it is 45-45. We are going to overtime after a missed free throw by Niam Thornton and a clutch 3-pointer at the buzzer by Damani Dorsey. And we get 5 more minutes of basketball here at the SWAC tournament.
Anything can happen.
Hey, listen. At least this is the first game of the day.
Yeah.
So all we do is screw up everybody else's schedules. The men's game, the start time is listed at 8:30 for Thursday night.
Yeah.
There's no way we start before 9 because stuff like this happens before.
Exactly. Sorry, SWAC.
But the Wildcats are still alive, back from the dead. They've risen from their graves and have forced overtime. It'll be Kayla Clark against Amari Williams to jump it up at center court. Thank you for staying with us. Or if you know somebody that clicked off because they thought the game was over, get them back.
We're still in the game, baby.
Here we go. The tip is won by Prairie View's Amari Williams. The Panthers will have the first possession of overtime. It comes to C.J. Wilson, who's got 6 points tonight, has been the primary ball handler. Here's the leading scorer on the night, Naeem Thornton. She's got 16. She switches to her left hand, plays Asia Thompson at the top of the key. Thompson stops, picks up her dribble, throws it back to the left-hand corner to Thornton. Thornton sizes up White, gets a screen, goes left, pulls up with 3 on the shot clock, misses everything, under the basket it goes. Out of bounds, shot clock violation. That's going to send the ball back to the maroon and gold.
Things might be looking up for the Wildcats because the same thing happened for against Florida A&M. And they may be able to use that strategy, lock in the same way they locked in for that game.
Here we go. Kayla White walks across the time stripe. 4:22 to go in a tie game in overtime. She picks up a dribble. Cross-court pass. Janessa Kelly, 3 on the way. Bang! Janessa Kelly from straight on.
Oh, my goodness. You talk about having a trust in a freshman. Janessa Kelly is that go-to.
58-53. Wildcats on top. 4 minutes to go in overtime. Where are the threes coming from? We missed 15 in a row.
If you talk about her, she was the McDonald's All-American All-Star, you know, and we said this a lot of times.
Thornton ducks it down low. Williams in the post. Right-hand layup, good. I think Prairie View needs to go to Williams every time down the floor. I mean, she's just so big.
Yes, her stature, the way that she moves with that ball is effortlessly. She reminds me of JSU Grant, the way that he moves as well, with having that same stature.
Yep. Kayla White, Wildcats with a 1-point lead, 3.5 to go in overtime. White drives right of the lane, stops at the free throw line, hands the ball to Clark in the right-hand corner. Clark looking for an option, goes back to the top. The ball's tipped away, and it's stolen all the way up the other end. Easy layup for C.J. Wilson, who jumped the pass.
1-point game, 3 minutes and 18 seconds left.
49-48, Prairie View leads. How many times did the Wildcats do that to Prairie View in the game, though? The Wildcats give one back, an easy one. Wildcats, the only points in the overtime period, the three-pointer. Here's Nicholson, spins, attacks, Dorsey, left corner 3, in and out. And the rebound is fought for. It's on the ground. A foul is called against Williams as she knocks Nicholson to the ground. And Asiane's slow to get up.
If I need to check, how many fouls does Williams have?
Williams has, that's only her second.
Second foul.
But
Wow.
Asiane Nicholson is playing with 4 fouls. Damani Dorsey's playing with 4 fouls. So they got to be careful.
Yes. 2 minutes and 59 seconds left. 1-point game.
Wildcats will inbound baseline under the attack of the basket that they attacked to listeners left. 2:59 to go in overtime. Prairie View 49, Bethune-Cookman 48. The Wildcats rallied, scoring 5 points in the last minute to force overtime. Nicholson up on top. And she got a ball stolen away from her. She tried to bounce it for McDonald in the lane. It's Wilson again, all the way in. Missed the layup, rebound, out of bounds. Wildcat ball is called, but they'll review it.
Yeah.
Wow, we almost gave another easy one away. We just relied on Wilson missing a layup.
And that thing with that pass, it was just a little bit too weak. You have to have some force behind those passes to make sure it gets to your opponent.
They didn't actually end up reviewing it. Wildcat ball. They got away with one. Still down 1 with the ball right now. White around the McDonald screen. Hands right side. Dorsey at the free throw line. She throws it back to McDonald. On the weave action inside the line. Kelly got reached in upon by Michaela Hutchinson. That'll be a foul.
Not a shooting foul yet. Still 1 more left until it is a shooting foul.
That'll be the 4th on Prairie View in the period, combined 4th quarter and overtime. The Bethune-Cookman will inbound sideline across the way from the scorer's table, as they're going to bring back Adriana Waddle.
Yeah, there we go.
And they're going to trade her out for Williams. It's such a blessing for Coach Sandy Pugh at Prairie View to have 3 players 6'4" or taller that they can just rotate in and out.
And just keep them fresh every time. Lively games.
The ball comes in. Nicholson lost it. It goes into the backcourt. A scramble for the ball on the ground. Thompson grabs it. Nicholson tries to tie it up. She does. And the possession arrow favors the Wildcats. Oh.
That was phew. That was a few.
Listen, the Wildcats seem to look like they're trying to throw this one away right now.
Yeah,
they've turned the ball over badly 3 straight times down the floor, and they're still only down by 1. The only points they've gotten in the overtime was the 3 by Janessa Kelly.
Yeah, and we need to be able to find another one. I think she's ready for one.
Nicholson looks to be hobbling a little bit as she got up from scrambling on the ground with her opposite number, Asia Thompson. She'll inbound. Damani Dorsey controls, walks across the time stripe. 2.5 to go in overtime. Wildcats down 49-48. Horn set. Dorsey goes right, gets double teamed, throws it in the corner. It goes down low. Ball loose on the baseline. It comes to Kelly. Left corner 3 on the way. Just short. Rebound Wilson and Prairie View. And a foul is called as they tried to rip the ball away from Wilson. And that's on Kayla White, her third, but that'll send them 90 feet the other way for free throws. That was a good shot for Kelly. Wide open. She took it, just missed it a little bit short.
Indiana just messed up just a little bit.
I mean, you hit 2 in a row. It doesn't really excuse the 18 you've missed in this game.
Right, but still, even on the three-point line that we talked about, and I've been saying this entire time, if you feel that it's not there, you have enough space to step in a little bit. You know, all we need is an extra point.
CJ Wilson with 2 shots. She's 4 of 4 from the line so far this afternoon. She missed the first one short. Lots of tired legs out there for both teams.
Fighting for something that they both want. But it is, like we said, a battle of offensive and defensive. Who wants it more?
Second one good. 2-point lead for the Panthers, 50-48. 2:13 to go in overtime. Wildcats once again scoreless over the last 2 minutes. White drives in, hands the ball off. It comes to McDonald. McDonald gets to the right baseline, puts up a floater, no good. Fighting for her own rebound. She got it. She floats it back out, and Kelly couldn't get there. Turnover again. Oh my goodness, the Wildcats have turned the ball over 4 times in the first 2 minutes of overtime.
2 minutes left in the game, and just like how you said before, has the energy ran out for the Wildcats? Do they not want it as much anymore?
That was a good shot by McDonald.
Yeah.
A driving layup with the right hand, just pushed it too strong and couldn't get her own miss. 2 minutes left. Wildcats need another stop. Down 2. 1:55 to go in overtime. Remember, they rallied spectacularly to force overtime anyway. CJ Wilson stops at the free throw line. Guarded by Nicholson. Throws it back up top to Thornton. On the right-hand wing, goes down low. Williams against McDonald. Spinning in the lane. Left-hand hook shot. Oh, it falls in.
She moves just like Grant.
Got a roll off the right-hand side of the rim. 52-48. White hands Kelly. Weave action top of the key. McDonald drives to the free throw line. Hands back Kelly. Kelly had the ball tipped on a pass. Gets it back from White.
Looking for some
13
answers.
to shoot. A drive into the paint from McDonald. She's trapped under there. Gets it to Nicholson, and she's fouled as she went up for the free throw. Got bodied by Williams. We'll see who they call it on.
She's put her body through.
They're going to call it on Thompson. Thompson's 4th foul. But the scoreless drought for the Wildcats has continued now to over 3 minutes. And they did this in the 4th quarter, too, where they just couldn't buy a bucket.
But you can't expect to
and
do this every
Nicholson,
time.
Asian Nicholson is down on the floor under the basket after taking that foul. Looks like it may be just a cramp. She's getting her calf worked on by the trainer. 52-48, Prairie View over Bethune-Cookman. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in overtime after the Wildcats rallied and hit a ridiculous 3 at the end of the game by Damani Dorsey to even force overtime. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletics.com/champions club today. That's bcuathletics.com/champions club. During the regular season, the Wildcats only played 1 overtime game, and it was the last game of the year where they won 71-60 against Florida A&M.
Yeah. Is that going to happen again this time? You know, that last game, they had, you know, maybe some type of reasoning. You know, it was a rival game. They wanted to leave it a win. But, you know, this game, you want to extend your season a little bit. You know, how bad do you want it? The Panthers are ready. So, what's next?
Shamari Phillips is going to come back in for the Wildcats. And I think she's going to take the shots for Asian Nicholson, as Nicholson is currently unable to continue. And now that's tough for the Wildcats to lose their best player like that. So Shamari Phillips off the bench to the free throw line. 4-point Prairie View lead. And she missed the first one.
Need those. Because it could have been easily a 2-point game. When you're coming in, you come in with the right mindset.
Head coach for Prairie View, Sandy Pugh, not happy. I think that Shamari Phillips has been allowed to take these. Phillips, the second is good. 3-point game, 52-49. Kayla Clark comes back in, replacing Janessa Kelly. Wildcats need a stop. 1:10 to go, down by 3. Same position they were in regulation.
Yep.
Here we go again. CJ Wilson will run as much time off the clock as she possibly can, creeping across the time stripe with 1:03 to go.
I'm really hoping we're not getting into a double.
Wilson down low to the baseline, extra pass, Williams. Got her shot blocked by McDonald, but a foul is called.
Oh, my.
Wow.
And her hands was straight up.
Straight up. I think they called shooting space, though, because she bodied her up.
It's her
Third foul on McDonald, and it's going to send Williams to the line. She was two for two in her first time. And again, I'm going to harp on the free throws. The Wildcats 50% on free throws today. The Panthers 75%. That's the difference in the game right now.
Amari Williams by herself is 62.7% at the free throw line. It's a pretty good average.
The junior out of Little Rock, Arkansas, originally started at Vanderbilt and then came over to Prairie View last year. Her first free throw is good. And she's got a really nice form, too. For such a big body, she's got a nice shooting form. 53-49. Two dribbles with the right hand, spins the ball, puts it up. Good. 54-49, 5-point lead. Well, they came back from 5 points down in the last minute of regulation. They're going to have to do it again.
And that was with Ajane, who put that two-pointer up. But now Williams is back out their game.
Full court press for the Panthers. The Wildcats breaking into the front court. 52 seconds left to go in overtime. Kayla White. Phillips at the top of the key. Face guarded by Thompson. Hands back to White on a dribble handoff. Timeout, Bethune-Cookman. And I think that maybe you're going to use the timeout to get
a play together.
And to get Nicholson back in because she was standing up.
Yeah, she's ready.
We'll see if she checks in.
You talked about us being down by 5 in the fourth quarter before we went into overtime, and Ajane was definitely one of the players that made it happen to get to into overtime. She had that 2 layup over there, and then we had Damani Dorsey who shot that 3. Hopefully we could redo that, you know, get a 3-pointer and another stop to bring it back up for a shot. Or we're in the bonus now for Prairie View, so maybe a foul as well.
Currently, Kayla Clark has 7 rebounds tonight. If she doesn't get another one, she will finish her BCU career with 832 rebounds.
Wow.
That is good enough for number 7 on the all-time rebounds list.
Wow.
If the Wildcats had made a run in this tournament, she had a chance to catch Sarah Bolden, who played from 2008 to 2011 for 6th place.
That's top 10 BCU history. Way to do Women's International Month, y'all.
Records being broken by the Wildcats this season. I mean, Ajane Nicholson, of course, already the second most rebounds in a season in Wildcat history. Clark, top 10 in rebounds in her career in Wildcat history.
I have goosebumps.
But again, the pieces didn't really all come together that much this season, right? I mean, you had a very young guard core in Janessa Kelly and Jordan Brooks. I mean, Kayla White was missing most of the year with injury. Cariana Woods hasn't played most of the year with injury. That was going to be your starting 2 guard. Shamari Phillips has been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been, at times you had the 3 seniors and the 2 freshmen on the floor, and it never felt that it gelled together enough throughout the year. And the turnovers are a big indicator of that, but the free throws, it's really tough to go 63% from the free throw line as a team on the season and still be competitive. Although the 7th seed in the tournament is the best for the Wildcats women's basketball since joining the SWAC in 2021.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we were number 7 last year. Or no.
No, we were 9 last year.
Yeah.
We were 8 the year before.
Yes.
So 7 is their best finish under Coach Creighton Del Rosario. It's not over. Down by 5, 43 seconds left. But again, we're going to need some more miracles here at the Gateway Center in Atlanta. 54-49. Prairie View leads in overtime. With 43.7 seconds left to go, the Wildcats waiting for television to inbound the ball right in front of their own bench across the way from us here at the media table. They'll attack the basket to listeners left in the all-gold. Prairie View defending in the all-purple.
Ajane still not in the game where I thought that she was going to be able to come in.
Nope. Ajane on the bench. The second leading scorer on the team is Kayla Clark with 11.
Bethune-Cookman basketball.
It's Phillips, Kelly, Dorsey, White, and McDonald, the 5 on the floor right now. The ball comes into Dorsey. She finds Kelly on a dribble handoff top of the key. Goes to White. 13 to shoot. White drives baseline, kicks across. Extra pass. Phillips in the corner for three. No good. Rebound. Prairie View. Wilson is fouled, and that might just do it.
Yep.
Bethune-Cookman foul number 2, Kayla White.
The Wildcats 2 of 19 on three-pointers in the ball game. Yes, they needed those two to even force overtime,
Yeah.
but they only scored 4 points in overtime, so the exact opposite of what happened with us and FAM happened. So where we didn't let FAM score at all in overtime. They scored 5 points in the period, and now we've only scored 4 points in overtime. First free throw good by Wilson, 55-49. That'll wrap it up here. A season of highs and lows for Bethune-Cookman women's basketball. Unfortunately, it's going to end up with mostly lows. Second free throw missed by Wilson, probably on purpose just to get the clock running. Wildcats out of timeouts. Kayla White, layup, too strong. Nicholson is in the game, rebound, puts it back up, no good. Gets another rebound. Dribbles on the baseline, double teamed. Finds Kayla White also on the baseline. She puts a layup up, no good, missed everything. McDonald puts it up again and gets fouled. Too little too late, I think. 13 seconds to go down, 55-49.
Too many misses down there, too many layups not being called. But I honestly think that every time they were throwing the ball up, they were looking for a foul, trying to draw something towards them.
The Wildcats 20 of 66 from the field today. And just 50% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
The same issues that have haunted them all season. Unable to get buckets when it mattered. They've turned the ball over 19 times. And then just an inability to close out games or stay in games from the free throw line. McDonald's first free throw in and out, and that's just indicative of how the game has gone today for the Wildcats. They'll finish their season at 10-21. Their conference regular season was 7-11. And they will fall here in the SWAC tournament first round to Prairie View A&M, a team that they just could not get over the hump over. Two close games against the Panthers, as the Panthers will call timeout.
Charge the Prairie View.
As we're just gonna, we got to keep talking for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 13.7 seconds left in the game, 5 points down. And like how you said that it was continually to be, indicated, in and out game. It has been an in and out game. Our first quarter wasn't as strong. We were able to pick back up towards the end of the second quarter. Came back, had a little bit of fire under us. Lost it again in the fourth quarter. Got it back towards the last couple seconds of the fourth quarter. And then lost it again in overtime, And I want to blame it on us having an early game and stuff like that, but when we have a season that's been in and out all completely together, it's kind of hard to, be able to say that.
I'm looking at the score graph that shows, where the teams were over time on the score, and the amount of times that the Wildcats just flatlined with no points for minutes on end. I mean, and currently right now, between the fourth quarter and overtime, we're being outscored 10-5 in the overtime period and 15-13 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I want to see, it is a Prairie View's ball. I want to see what exactly. It's 13.7 seconds. Are they going to hold it?
I mean, the Wildcats, I think, will maybe foul one more time. Prairie View puts the ball in. It comes to Williams. Williams gets fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. Chanel McDonald picks up her third foul.
I'm looking for a stop. 12 seconds even on the clock.
As Williams goes to the line, she's a perfect 4 for 4 on the night. I mean, and Prairie View has won this game from the free throw line.
Yep.
18 of 24, 75%. Wilson's only missed 2. Thornton's only missed 2. Thompson perfect. Williams perfect.
And the Wildcats really did work hard, throughout the season and even today. But, those little things that we, when you work in basketball, or playing in the basketball, then our free throws and stuff like that are extremely important because it's things like that will be able to give us a chance to, advance forward. First
free throw good by Williams. She's 5 of 5 from the line tonight. Yeah, up to 10 points. 3 in double figures now for Prairie View A&M as they've got a 56-50 lead.
She might just be the female version of Grant over at JSC.
Shannon Grant, yep. I agree. Got the same kind of body type, the same kind of play style. Second one good.
Yeah,
57-50. Williams comes out. She gets a lot of hugs and high fives from her bench.
Yep.
Waddle comes back in. The Wildcats with 10 seconds left in their season. Kayla White, coast to coast, layup, good. Kayla White only 6 points tonight, just 3 of 14. Wildcats will pressure the inbounds pass, taken away by Kelly. Dorsey, layup, no good. Nicholson, put back, no good. And a foul going to be on Aisha Thompson, and that'll be the end of the game.
That's it.
Your final score, Prairie View A&M 57, but
Here's another stat for you. Wildcats, 19 offensive rebounds, 7 second chance points.
That's yeah.
And Kayla White is visibly emotional in front of us here. She's going to go back to the bench. Of course, we end the college careers of Kayla White, Chanel McDonald, Cassandra Hawthorne, who did not feature tonight, Shamari Phillips, and Kayla Clark. And it's an emotional day as the Bethune-Cookman band plays the alma mater off to our left. Let's get you through the scoring totals for this one. We have to let you go, unfortunately, on 1380 WLE. If you want to hear our post-game comments, come on by youtube.com/CatEye Network. Sabrina and I will be on for the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, wrapping up the women's basketball season. Thank you for listening here on 1380 WELE, and we'll have the men's game for you Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on 1380 WELE and the CatEye Radio Network. Michael Torello, Sabrina Pajit, home live from Atlanta at the Gateway Center, saying so long, and come on by the YouTube channel if you want the post-game breakdown. An emotional bunch for Bethune-Cookman, standing at midcourt listening to the alma mater for the Wildcats. Bethune-Cookman scores as follows. Asia Nicholson, another double-double, her 22nd of the year, second place in the country in double-doubles. A ridiculous season for Nicholson. The fact that she was only second-team All-SWAC is a scam.
Yeah.
Is a scam. She should have been first team. She should have been newcomer of the year. Kayla Clark, 11 points, 7 rebounds in her final college game. Kayla White, 6 points in her final college game, but just 3 for 14 from the floor. Didn't really ever get it going. Missed a lot of mid-range shots. Had a lot of air balls, too.
Yeah.
Damani Dorsey had 5 points. Chanel McDonald had 5 points in her final college game. Janessa Kelly had 5 points. Hit that 1-3 late on early on in overtime. Shamari Phillips had 5 points. Hit the 3 to, hit the 3 to, no, Dorsey hit the 3 to send it to overtime. Phillips did not have a 3 in the ballgame. She was over 5. Langston, just 2 points, 1 of 3. Brooks didn't score, and Johnson didn't score. As now we'll get the alma mater for Prairie View A&M. Well, it was a tough draw for the Wildcats, a team they'd lost to already. I mean, we thought we were going to get Mississippi Valley State, but they closed the season strong. They upset Jackson State. They got the 8th seed. So
and swiveled their way back up there.
And so we got a team that we were not prepared really to match up against. The height really hurt us all game. But again, so many inexcusable things, right?
Yeah.
The free throws, 8 of 16. The turnovers, 19 turnovers. Let's go through the team stats. The Wildcats out-rebounded Prairie View 43-36 and 17-7 on the offensive glass. Only got 7 second chance points off of 17 offensive rebounds.
And those second chance points were probably got in the lead, but also those free throws that we did talk about as well, too. You know, this entire season, the Wildcats played with so much heart, but it's only so much that you can do if you're not playing consistently or efficiently when it comes down to those free throws, those mid-rangers, and even layups. You know what I mean?
The Wildcats turned the ball over 19 times, leading to 17 Prairie View points off turnovers. We actually turned Prairie View over 21 times, leading to 19 points off turnovers. That's probably the best thing the Wildcats did all game, was turn the Panthers over. Fast break points favors the Wildcats 18-8. 16 of those 21 turnovers were Wildcat steals. So again, really good defensively, couldn't buy anything offensively. That was the story of the game for Bethune-Cookman. Points off turnovers already mentioned. Points in the paint, Wildcats 30, Prairie View A&M 20. The second chance points, the big one, just 7 for the Wildcats, just 4 for Prairie View. Here are the shooting splits for Bethune-Cookman. 21 of 68 from the field, that's 30%. Wow. 21 of 68. How often do you get that many shots in a game?
And it just wasn't for us. The score would have been a lot further if we were just, and most of those shots were down below.
Yep.
We're down below, and that's why I honestly am trying to like really fathom on how this game was probably how we started was probably the worst start that we've had all season. And you know, it kind of set the tone for a trajectory. When we got that momentum back towards the end of the second quarter, and I was hoping that we were able to keep it towards going towards the end of the game, but it just wasn't there. They weren't able to keep that light lit.
The Wildcats hit 2 of 19 from 3. And again, for a team that is as poor at shooting the 3 as the Wildcats are, just 28% on the year, they took 19 threes. They missed their first 16 straight.
I think after the fifth three-pointer, it should have clicked to them that, just to cancel it out. But to go 19 or 0 and 19 for the three-point line, well, after those 2 that happened over in overtime, that should have just been the signal for us to continue to drive and draw the fouls like we've been doing all seasons to get our wins. But I don't know what happened today.
We were scared of the offensive foul, right?
Oh,
With
yeah,
four charges, 2 over the backs. I mean, they were scared of the pair of you size inside. They did a really good job drawing those charges as well. Here are the shooting splits for Prairie View A&M. They didn't really do that great either from the floor. 36%, 18 of 50. They only hit 1 3-pointer, 1 of 14. Nobody hit threes in this game, but 20 of 26 from the free throw line, 76%. That was the game right there.
I think that's what it was. The shooting efficiency that Prairie View definitely had over BCU is what compensated them to win. Because when they went up for shots, they made sure that they fell in, or they were there to rebound for those second-point shots. And that just wasn't the case for us Wildcats.
That'll do it for women's basketball season at Bethune-Cookman. The Wildcats finished 10 and 21, 7 of 11 in conference play. They finished as the 7th seed in the conference standings and fall in the first round of the conference tournament, 57-52 in overtime to Prairie View A&M. For our entire CatEye Network crew here in Atlanta, Georgia, Lee Gilliam, Victoria Sabetti, Bryce Wojnowski, and Sabrina here at the desk with me. My name is Michael Torello. Thank you so much for tuning in on either 1380 WLE or the CatEye Network Radio on YouTube. We will see you on Thursday night for the men's team as they take on Alcorn State in the quarterfinals. Until then, have a very pleasant rest of your afternoon, and hail Wildcats.